The new Modus Super Series champion.
Oh my word!
It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith.
It's match start.
5-star performer, and the bullseye is hit.
It's Johnny Magnet.
I'm lucky to manage to get on top.
18, these double tops
Game
for
shot on
a
the first
third
leg,
ton plus
Meulenkamp.
finish.
They really push you. You cannot make any mistakes, and I'm so glad that I made it.
Put it right in the next one. That was perfect. As could this be. Double 16.
Game shot on the
That
third
is
leg,
astonishing.
Robinson.
Yeah, I really wanted to win the group out. Some of the players are in here. It'd be nice to win this one.
An average of 102.42 and a potential 4-1
shot
win,
and
and he
the
wraps it
match.
up
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
because this might be the moment all is sealed. And he does
Game
so
shot
with a
and the
bit of a
match, Simon
fanfare.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad, but I've also changed darts again this week, so...
Because Dennant is looking to put the cap on an
Game
impressive
shot and the
display
match,
by
Matt
pinning the
Dennant.
top.
You're going in on the back of playing well and winning it.
Oh,
Game shot on the
Andy.
first leg,
Still got
Andy
it.
Davidson.
Great shot.
Just got to look forward to tomorrow now and just enjoy the whole experience.
So come the end of play tonight, we'll know half of the field that will be participating in Series 13's Champions League. Welcome along to all the action. It's coming to you from the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth and, of course, here on Pluto TV. So we're at the halfway point as far as Series 13 is concerned. A very good evening. Welcome along to another Super Series Saturday where we have got 6 of the very best duking it out. We've got a former series champion. We've got a couple of serial winners here at the Live Lounge. It's fair to say that we've got 6 hot shots in action. Can't exactly say I've got the same here in the studio, but Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson will have to do on this Saturday evening. Gents, welcome to the pair of you. Scott, I'll begin with you. We're heading towards the halfway point of the series now. The first couple of weeks are won by perhaps outsiders in Steve Green and Keanu Van Velzen, but over the last few weeks, maybe a bit of star quality has come up to the boil.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably the winners that we expected to come through have started to come through as the series has gone on. But I still think that we've got some surprises to come in this series.
What would be your overall assessment of this week so far?
I think it's been excellent. I think it's been a really nice standard from all of the players. I think someone like George Munoz, for example, he was thrown to the wolves because the amount of experience and skill that's been on show this week has been too much for some people to handle. But personal best average for Whitlock, big average from Reece Robinson, and the stars have been shining very bright this week.
Right, let's get into the crux of the action this evening. 6 players all in action looking to pick up the jackpot, and here is who we're watching tonight. Well, Meulenkamp meant business this week. Strong scoring and sharp finishing helped the Dutchman win Group A, and he's looking to finish the job tonight. Mr. Must-See, Reece Robinson showed some battling quality to come through the Group B pack. Can he return to the winner's circle? Former champion Scott Taylor looked closer to his series-winning form. His fast scoring and fearless finishing could give him an edge tonight. The wizard, Simon Whitlock, needs no introduction. Experience, stage presence and a touch of magic could see him conjure up glory this evening. Matthew Dennant went unbeaten in Group C. The scholar was calm, composed and clinical and is in good shape to lift the Week 6 trophy. Scotland's Andy Davidson dug deep to get here. Grit, graft and big checkouts. Now he's hunting more Super Series silverware. So those are the 6 players that we're going to be watching on night 6 worth of action in Week 6. And we got underway on Monday morning with Group A, where Rob Meulenkamp and Simon Whitlock, Nico, from start to end, they were the two that stood out, and it was one that was just able to hold it together in the end.
Yeah, Ron only lost to one person. That was Whitlock on 2 occasions, hence the 26-point tally. But Whitlock did lose a key match on Wednesday lunchtime, which meant that he was unable to equalise the points total of Ron in the end. We could have had 2 players on 26. It turns out that Meulenkamp, after his loss to Whitlock, was able to bounce back and win for the rest of the day, giving him the Group A title. He was really good, especially at the start of Monday and Tuesday, putting out some big numbers, and he'll be very happy with how he played.
So Ron Meulenkamp's success in Group A meant that Simon Whitlock had to play in Group B. He'd come through in third. We'll talk about him in just a second. But Maurice Robertson Scott, he's a player who's got a reputation here. He's on 3 weekly titles in the past. And when he does set foot on the live lounge stage, we expect things from him now.
Yeah, we know we like him here. I think I've played with him alongside him at the Pro Tours and stuff. And I don't think he was quite ready for what was going on then. We're now a couple of years on. And what I saw from him last night was absolutely sensational. I think he's maturing as a player. He's been around since the youth days, and we've all been going, he's the next guy, he's the next guy. I think at the moment, the way he played last night, he could be the guy tonight.
Is it fair to say, and Scott Taylor's actually said this in his own words, he never really got going this week. I know he had the average of 101, but other than that, he's kind of had to scrape for what he's got.
Yeah, Thursday night, he played some pretty decent stuff. In the middle, he did have that ton plus average, like you mentioned. The other stuff was a bit scruffy, but he was still able to find some valuable points. By the time we came to Friday, he knew that he had minimal work to do, maybe pick up 1 or 2 wins, and he was going to be guaranteed his way into another Saturday night. But the fact is he lost his first game on Friday night, and he still found his way through. It wasn't encouraging stuff on Friday night. I don't know whether we should use that as an indicator or not, because he already knew he was through. Now that he's into Saturday, we have to ask the question, does Saturday Scott turn up? Because if he does, he's super dangerous.
In terms of Simon Whitlock, it feels like he's really beginning to blossom again, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's enjoyed himself. I think he's had so many years on the tour and may have forgotten what other darts is around off the tour. And now he seems to be back smiling when he's playing again, using a new bit of equipment at the moment. And Simon will know. He won't worry about what position he comes into this, whether he was first, second or third in the group. The fact that he's in here tonight, he's not frightened of anybody. He'll play anybody, anytime, anywhen, and that's what he's going to get tonight.
How many people can legitimately say that they've played to a Pro Tour standard over the last couple of days? Now, Ron Meulenkamp obviously can't because he didn't play the last couple of days. But if you look at some of the numbers from Whitlock on Friday night, that was Pro Tour standard. More than a 90 average and masses amounts of first darts hitting the treble 20. There's something about these new darts. They look really, really good. And it will definitely help that he's won on this stage this year.
And he managed to get not just the 1 up, but the 2 up on his son Mason.
You don't want to let your son beat you, or your daughter, or anybody. If it's anything like me in my household, no, you don't give them anything. You've got to let them have it. And when they're better than you, they deserved it when they beat you.
There will come a time when Mason is better than Simon, but that time is not now. And he refuses to let that number 1 Whitlock spot go because he knows that there's still plenty of gas in the tank. He's in his mid-50s, but what we've seen this week is incredibly encouraging for 2026. I'm not sure where the titles are going to come from this year for Simon, but he will really want this tonight to add to his 2026 tally.
Well, in terms of Group C, Matt Dennant, he basically coasted through in the end. He won all 10 of his matches, and we were in commentary for it, Nico. It was like he was never away from here after his 2-year exile because of his tour card privileges.
I honestly can't remember Matt playing this well in this format in his career. He looked so calm. He looked zoned out, like nobody else was going to bother him. And only 1 game of the 10 that he played did he look in any trouble. He was 3-2 down in the middle of Friday afternoon, and we thought maybe he's going to lose a game. This was when he was already through. But the fact is, he said, nope, I'm going to win all my games. He won 4-3, and that was the only time he was in trouble. From a musical perspective, it was a virtuoso performance. It was pretty much note perfect. But tonight is very different. It's more like a knockout format.
For Andy Davidson, we've spoken about trials and tribulations that he's been through over the course of the last 12 months or so. Just to be here was something in itself. The fact he's qualified, well, that's just the icing on the cake, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's a very different Andy than we saw as the raw Andy Davidson that first came here, and we all lit our eyes up that first week. It was going, where has this guy been all of our lives? You know, he was superb. Yes, he's now got into the darts. He's had a few issues. But for him, just to be here tonight, he'll be relieved. He'll be more than relieved because he knows it was a really tough week to be dropping into. And so for the problems that he's had, he'll start thinking now he's coming out the other side to make it to tonight.
It's a pretty cool Saturday night to be part of as well. I mean, sometimes when you're making a return and you've had some problems, you still want to be involved on a Saturday night, but this is just a little bit extra special, isn't it? With Robinson, with Whitlock, with Taylor, that practice room is going to be a great place to be tonight.
Right, let's have a look at the groups for tonight. The players will be split up into two separate groups of three. Group 1 sees Meulenkamp, Scott Taylor and Andy Davidson go head-to-head, whilst Group 2 will pit Reece Robinson, Matt Dennant and Simon Whitlock with one another. So this is how the odds look. Matt Dennant goes off the 11-5 favourite. It was interesting, Nico, we were speaking yesterday and we were wondering where Matt Dennant would be in terms of the odds. Are you surprised that he's favourite?
A little bit, yes. I applaud the way he's played over the last couple of days, but as far as Saturday night experience, there are others that have more recent experience of that. I'm really interested to see what Meulenkamp does tonight as well. He's second favourite, but there could be value elsewhere.
Simon Whitlock at 5-1. That feels like a value play when you consider, as we mentioned earlier, the form that he's been in recently.
Yeah, they're probably looking at him from further back than more recent than this week. So I think possibly that's why they've geared him at that. But we know that that's a bit of a long shot with the way he played last night and the night before. So, yeah, that's the value for me, 5-1.
It's 18 plus, it's gamblerware.org if you're having a flutter tonight. Let's get into our first match of the evening session. It pits together Andy Davidson and Ron Meulenkamp. And early on this evening, I caught up with both players. Well, Ron, you were pushed all the way in Group A. First of all, you must have loved the heat of battle, and secondly, you must have loved it even more the fact you were able to get on top.
Yes, of course. Yeah, really looking forward to tonight. Everyone is on zero. Everyone needs to be top on the game. So I'm really looking forward.
You must have been really pleased the way that you played in Group A, particularly on a consistent basis.
Yeah. The last time, the last weeks when I'm practicing is paying off a little bit. Has to be strong on the doubles as well. But yeah, the scoring power was good. I think a lot of 180s and good moments I was there. So I hope I can continue tonight.
Do you feel like your game's really clicking into place at this moment in time?
It's a process, yes. So yeah, we're working on it, and I see positive things, and also the things that are not going too well. You have to think about that and then work on it. So yeah, it's all good. Even when it's going good, it's good, and if not, then you can work on it, which I love to do. So there's no worries.
It's a tough field out there tonight, but I get the sense the harder the opposition, the more you relish it.
Yeah, I like a challenge, and I like to work hard for it. And when it goes, it goes. But I think that will save for everyone. So yeah, I really look forward. I think the level, the standard will be very high tonight.
And of course, Minehead in mind for next week in the UK Open. How much could a good night here kind of give you a springboard going into that one?
Well, yeah, that's the most important thing. If you have to do something tonight, it will boost you for the UK Open, of course. So yeah, I hope I can do something. I already feel good winning Group A, but the cherry on top would be nice.
Right, wish you all the best, Ron. Good luck out there.
Thank you very much.
Andy, great to see you here on Saturday night. It's certainly been a week for yourself, which has been categorised by real battling spirit, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've been far from my best. I'll be the first to admit that. But hey, I'm still here on Saturday with a chance to be another, for another weekly title. So bring it on. I can't wait.
In terms of the level of the performance, in terms of what you've played this week, what would be your overall assessment of it?
Pretty dreadful, to be honest. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. I've been absolutely dreadful, and I've rode my luck pretty much from the start of the week, to be fair. I mean, I've pulled out some good finishes at the right time, like the 153 to get through was a right nice finish. But other than that, it has been a battle, but hopefully we're saving the best for tonight.
When you walked into the building on Monday, could you expect it to have been here on Saturday?
Probably not, to be fair, but I know that if my game comes out, I should be fine to get here to a Saturday. But gee, I've probably even been a B or C game, to be fair, But I'm still here, and I'm feeling good for tonight. So yeah, I can't wait to get up there.
You mentioned the word free roll there. Now, as much as you're going to enjoy the occasion, of course, you're going to try and give it a good go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've got a tough group in Ron and Scott. They've played very well this week. Especially Ron topping Group A. But I've yet to beat him so far. But if I can get a win over him first game this evening, then it could be the start of a good night.
To a certain extent, are these all bonuses for yourself?
I think so, particularly this week, especially with coming back from the illness injury that I've had. I think this week was a bit of a bonus, to be fair. But at the end of the day, I still wouldn't have appeared here if I didn't think I could be the champion. So I'm still here. I've made it on Saturday night, and I'm in with a chance. Just got to make the most of it.
Go well. Wish you the best. Good luck, Andy.
Thank you. Cheers.
This now across the opening couple of legs. Oh, this would be punishment.
Game shot on the second leg.
Punished
Andy
to the
Davidson.
highest degree.
Andy's in trouble. Double 15.
Game
Beautiful
on the
shot.
third leg.
But it is debut
And the
delight
Modus Super
for
Series.
Davidson.
We
Davidson! Andy Davidson and Rob Meulenkamp gets the night's action underway here at the live lounge in Portsmouth. 9 live games for you this evening here on Pluto TV. And let's get into the crux of it. In the commentary box, it's Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, Henry. Week 6, it never disappoints. When you look at who's come through Week 6 in the past, there are some history-making nights. I wonder if tonight could be the same. It might just be for Andy Davidson. Age 30, he is, to a lot of people, the outsider for the night. But Ron Meulenkamp, who won Group A on Wednesday afternoon, he's looking to keep a bit of a streak alive of people winning Group A and then going on to win the Saturday after a barren spell. The last 2 weeks have been won by Graham Hall and Derek Coulson.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's your referee who will preside over the 9 matches here tonight. And it is our Group A winner, Ron Meulenkamp, who gets us underway after a very successful Monday to Wednesday, Scott.
Yeah, very much so. The first thing I noticed was he
34.
actually switched starts to what I saw him playing with at Challenge Tour a few weeks back. So obviously,
100.
change of equipment has found a change of luck for Ron.
He was talking earlier about everything he's doing at the minute being a process. And like many a process, he's not quite at the end of it yet. He's very much in the middle of it. Well, if this is the middle, I'm going to look forward to the end of it because the stuff this week has been really good.
Yeah, it really has. He's another one who was kind of a bit of a youth protege, wasn't he? And lots and lots were expected of him. I travelled the BDO, WF circuit. Lots and lots, and Ron was there, and
140.
he would be really brilliant, and then probably back it up with nothing, have a really big win against a named player, and then wouldn't quite back it up. So I think he's another one that's kind of maturing into the type of player we expected to come from him, but it's just taken a while with him. Some are quicker than others at reaching their peak.
58.
It's a very solid start. Davidson's got to get to a finish here to put the pressure on.
100.
Does a pretty
Ron,
decent
you
job.
require 88.
Does that force Meulenkamp to go for the bullseye if he doesn't get a treble? We're about to find out. We'll never know.
Game shot.
Because look at that sharpness in the first leg of the night. Wonderfully done.
Yeah, settles you down lovely, doesn't it? You get up there, you want to hit that first treble 20.
Game on.
Nice and crisply, as quickly as you can, particularly when you've got throw.
82.
And then you want to hit a double as quickly as you can and get your first leg under your belt. And Meulenkamp, you have to say, did that perfectly.
Might be feeling very comfortable against Davidson as well because he has beaten him 3 times out of 3 this week. But is it fair to say that Davidson in the first 3 days was still trying to figure out how he was feeling coming into the week? He found a little bit more come Thursday and Friday. That's why he's here.
Yeah, I think you have a valid point there. I think also for Ron, he won't have seen much of Andy at all. And sometimes that's the better way. You come in not really knowing and then you play your game.
180.
First 180 of the evening, going to Andy Davidson.
A very respectful crowd here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth as per
54,
usual, but we actually have
Andy,
two
you
gentlemen in
require
the crowd from
99.
Canada.
51.
That is more than fine from the Scot.
Yeah, bit of a trip from Canada, but I suppose there's a lot less snow here at the minute than there is in Canada.
Yeah, weather's getting a little bit better here on the south coast of England. He's going to have to stay straight because if he switches, he runs the risk of not leaving a finish.
60.
That'll do.
Andy, you require 48.
Double 16.
Game shot.
Oh, this is starting rather well. If this is the kind of standard we're going to get tonight, hold on to your hats, everyone.
The leg is Ron to throw first.
Yeah, nice
Game
14
up.
dart hold of throw there. Davidson.
And what we've got tonight are an incredible amount of winners in this building.
100.
Davidson's got a weekly title. The other participant in Group 1 tonight, Scott Taylor's got 4
44.
weekly titles and a series. Then, don't get me started about Group 2 and what they've done. Robinson's got 3 weekly titles. Matthew Dennant's got a weekly title. And the person who doesn't in that group is a former
140.
European champion and World Cup winner.
Yeah. I think the whole evening is absolutely stacked
137.
tonight, and I can't wait to see the outcome. I really can't. I think it's one of those super weeks.
Yeah, it almost feels like a champion's night, this field, doesn't it?
140.
Speaking of Champions Night, Ron Meulenkamp has been to one. Made the semi-finals of a Champions Night before. He was within
85.
2
Ron, you
games of
require
being the champ.
121.
That shot is off. So now he's looking to leave the double. Which he's going to.
81. $28. Ron, you
Tops
require
after
40.
12 for Meulenkamp. Davison not even in the same postcode, let alone the same street. Is it too much time for Ron?
Game
No,
shot
it
the
isn't.
third leg.
It's yet
Ron
another
Meulenkamp.
14 dart leg and hold of throw. Makes you particularly difficult to beat
Fourth leg, it's
on
Andy
throw,
to
doesn't
throw
it,
first.
Nico?
Indeed it does. Forces the Scot to get a 12 darter. And if he doesn't break in this game, he's not going to win it.
137.
Having said that, Davidson was rather good on his own throw in leg 2. Now, of the 6 fixtures that we have in the groups tonight, we can't predict who's going to be in the semi-finals, of course.
140.
But which fixture really sticks out for you, Scott, from either group?
95.
You know, the Reece Robinson, Matty Dennant one at the end of the night, I think, is the one for me. Where both played so brilliantly, but haven't got near one another yet this week. So it could be their one and only time they play this week.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Sometimes players can play each other a lot. A couple of series ago, Adam Gavlas
85.
and Charlie Manby played each other 7 times in a week. And like Scott mentions, this week, Dennant against Robinson might just be the once. This is number 4 between these two.
120.
And he has 120 floor.
Yeah, superb composure. Didn't watch the dart to the floor, did he? Just drilled it back in with the last
70.
dart where the other one
Ron,
fell
you
out
require
from.
101.
Good composure from Meulenkamp.
$61. Andy, you require 114.
I think the jury's out on that route. Double 17.
97.
He did the right thing and it almost paid off, but Meulenkamp now gets a chance to break himself.
Yeah, had to make the decision early.
Yeah.
I do believe Ron has left himself on a double here, not on 50. He had 102, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I do believe he scored 62, which leaves 40.
And these can be really unnerving for a player, these moments.
Well, interestingly, Ron is shaking his head right now. The mental approach here is something's not right. Don't let that affect me. If it does, acknowledge it, breathe, and then move on. This is all part of the process that he's talking about. Something might happen like this. Don't let it get the better of you. Because it could ruin your night.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than walking away from a board and going, because the hardest thing for a player in this moment is because it's out of your control. Everything else that goes on within the game is within your control. When a slight mistake or something happens with a scoreboard like this, it can be so unsettling for the players because it's not in your control, and we're used to being in control of everything that's going on that hockey.
That's absolutely right. If it's out of your control,
Ron, you require
simply step
40.
back, take a timeout, come back when you can. He comes back and he wins that situation in more ways than one.
Absolutely, Nico. Absolutely. Brilliant stuff from Meulenkamp there.
Game on.
2 or 3 years ago, he wouldn't have done that. He would not have been able to turn a negative back to a positive so quickly.
Maybe that's what this new process is all about. He has a new manager now. He's never had a manager in his senior career. He's always done it himself, but now he's got backing.
20.
Well, one thing I do know, he'll be damn pleased that tops went in now. Because when you start off like that and offer an opportunity to your opponent like this, you need that breaker throw in hand.
And you've got to play the game, haven't you? You don't come into leg number 5 here thinking, if I win this leg, I've only got to win 2 more legs in my second game and I'm through. That's too much to process. What you got to do is play the game.
180.
Well, Davidson's playing the game. He's the one getting the maxes. That's 2 for him now.
140.
Yeah, good response. But Davidson has the lead and darts in hand.
134.
And he also has the experience of winning a title on this stage, which is something Ron has not done before.
No, very true. We've been here on many finals nights, and we know to expect the unexpected here. You can look at the form book coming in
you require 47.
and expect this, that, and the other, and very rarely does that happen.
Game shot on the 5th leg, Andy Davidson.
Brilliant break of throw from Davidson. And now you can see what I'm talking about, having that break in hand.
Game on.
It's going to has helped Meulenkamp no end.
45.
But now Davidson offers the opportunity that Meulenkamp offered to him at the start of the previous leg.
It's like an open door, but can you walk through it?
100.
Sort of. What we have to remember as well, maybe Andy's a different guy and a different player than when he won his weekly title. A lot has happened since then. But if you can beat Aidan Kirk in a final when he was probably playing some of the best darts of his life,
140.
that tells us something about the guy that beat him.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
100.
I'm a big fan of Andy Davidson. I've got to say, when I first saw him, I was on the week that he first came here. And I was like, who is this kid? He is amazing if he plays like this all the time. And at that point, he said, I've never really played like this before.
85.
I've never played in this situation, so I don't know whether I'd be able to do it again.
Well, he has done it again.
81.
And again and again and again since we've seen him that first time here at the Modus Super Series.
This is looking promising. He's going to leave a double for the match. And now Davidson is going to have to take this out to take us all the way. And the shot is already off.
And again, it's the brilliance of Meulenkamp. Once again, leaving tops
40.
after 12. Super scoring. He's got to match it with the finishing.
He does just that.
Meulenkamp.
Not for the first time this week, Meulenkamp is off to a flyer in a session. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, he put in big numbers to start his campaign, and by winning that game by 4 legs to 2, he can actually afford to lose his next game in Game 5. Brilliant start. Ron wins by 4 legs to 2.
Welcome back to the Super Series. So before the break, Ron Meulenkamp got the better of Andy Davidson by 4 legs to 2. It was a real good contest, that. Meulenkamp averaging just over 101.5 in that contest. Davidson himself averaged 98, but it was the man from the Netherlands that got over the line in the end. So next up for us, Reece Robinson and Simon Whitlock go head to head. And early on this evening, I caught up with the pair. Reece, good Group B for yourself, and particularly at the start of last night, we saw some of the best of yourself.
Yeah, I was happy with the way I played in all the games, really, even the one that I lost. I felt like I played all right.
Does that feel like the best you've played here for a little while?
For a long time, yeah. I feel like I'm in a good headspace and physically feel good and, yeah, playing better.
Where is the game at, and what's 2026 looking like for yourself in a darting sense, at least?
Just keep coming here, keep playing, and just more playing more. I'm not active enough sometimes.
And is that kind of the key, just trying to find things that tick you over? So when you do come to places like this, you can play at the peak of your performance?
Yeah, stuff that I enjoy playing. Sometimes I'm just playing tournaments just because don't know, I've done it for so long and I'm just turning up and playing.
So into tonight, first of all, how difficult does that backroom look in terms of the opposition you're going to be up against?
Yeah, I feel like I say it every time I come here, but it's always one of the best weeks. There's just so many good players out there now, and then they're always really good, yeah.
3 times is nice, but 4 puts you down in legendhood, doesn't it?
Yeah, I won't mind a bit of that, yeah.
And you wouldn't be the first man from Hull to taste success today, would you?
The lads have took 3 points, I may as well get my 4th win here as well, aren't I?
Go well, wish you all the best. Reece, good luck out there.
Thank you.
Simon, fair to say a good week's work for yourself so far?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, actually. I was quite impressed the way I played, especially with new darts. So, yeah, they went all right.
Some of the good stuff was really good, and I know we were talking last night. It felt rather vintage at points.
Yeah, the good was good, but the bad was pretty bad too, yeah.
Is that kind of where you're at this present moment in time? Is it just finding that level of consistency a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. I guess everyone who starts out with a new set of darts is just looking for consistency, and yeah, that's what I'm lacking, a bit of inconsistency.
We mentioned last night you're in a really good vein of form. You're picking up more titles now. You have done for a long time. How much would you like to keep it up going into this evening?
Yeah, I'd love to win this. It'd be great. I mean, it's a tough field. I played a few of these boys already, and there's a couple I want to beat who've done me over a few times.
Are you one that looks at the head-to-head a fair bit?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Like, if someone beats me, I'm out to get them back.
So, you've won a senior showdown. You won the specials week at the beginning of the week. Win this week, a first Champions Week appearance for yourself. How much of a carrot is that dangled for you?
Yeah, big carrot. Yeah, I want it.
And we wish you all the very best, Simon. Good luck out there.
Thanks, Henry. Cheers.
Look away!
And does that very, very well.
Check out. Oh, shot there from...
Oh, go and get it quickly!
The 6th player.
I've never seen Simon Whitlock move that fast.
But yeah, it was still great fun though.
Oh, my word! How has he done that?
Yeah, I'm obviously going to have to play some good darts.
Double 5. Simon Whitlock, superstar.
Yeah, Reece Robertson, the man from Hull, could make life in Portsmouth rather hellish because the Tigers mauled Pompey earlier on today, and he is looking to take success here at the Live Lounge. It's first to Simon Whitlock, in commentary, Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, so far this week, Reece Robinson has had the capabilities of beating Whitlock. Let's see if he can do it on a Saturday night as well in this stacked last day of week 6. Incredible week's action so far with so many highlights. Well, this man is known as the human highlight reel, isn't he? That's one of his 78 nicknames. We might be able to get through all of them tonight. But this man, he just needs one. He's the wizard. And he is the Seniors Showdown winner from January, which is just about last month for about another 4 or 5 hours or so, depending on where you're watching this. But as for Reece, he has the darts in this contest, and I think he'd like this to be the last time he plays Simon Whitlock this week, Scott. And if he beats him heavily, it could be the last time they play.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Reece to throw
Yeah,
first.
very much so. I don't
Game
know what the
on.
mindset would be coming into here. Just win the game. I wouldn't be worrying about what happens to Simon. I think you've got to worry about what happens to you and remain positive. You know you've got the darts on him as well.
42.
You know you've got the beating of him on the last couple of occasions. But the one thing we do know with Simon Whitlock is he doesn't like losing one game in a row
77
to anybody, let alone 2. So now he's on his 3rd time to get him, and yeah, Simon will be trying to hunt him down.
And what's more, Whitlock has gone back to the
60.
Reece Robinson flight combo. So he's using Reece's kit against him. Maybe that's a sign of who he's targeting tonight. He's played some great
59.
stuff this week as Simon. Personal best average on Tuesday of 111.33.
And if he's still able to do that over best of 7, who knows what else he could possibly do.
84.
Yeah, Reece Robinson's the only one that's got close to that 111 with a 109 of his own.
89.
So that's what makes this more of a mouth-watering tie for us statisticians up here in the commentary box.
Yeah, we talk about ceiling of performance
140.
quite a lot. But sometimes it's very apt for a night like this, where you might need your best performance just to get through a group game or a semi-final.
80.
Yeah, this is really weird. The mini sort of group stage scenario has the feel of a group stage, but it is more of a feel of a knockout when I've
60.
played in it. You can get caught between the two and then start going, no, it doesn't matter if I don't win the first one, I can win the second one. You can be out by your second game. So it's a knockout for me. That's how you've got to treat it.
115.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Having not played on a Saturday night, I'll take your word for it, but I think that's the right mindset. And getting off to that kind of start is exactly what Robinson was looking for. He was a little bit close to the treble 15, but he does find the tops. And the quality from game 1 has seeped into group 2 as well.
I think we expected that as well. We
60.
expected that to happen. Whitlock, when he was grouping like that last night, they were all in the red bit. Played some super stuff last
57.
night. Simon Whitlock, as did Reece Robinson.
That's more like the first start he's been finding. But you're right about Whitlock.
97.
Some of the numbers he was putting in on day 2 of Group B, really impressive. Took him a little bit of time to get going.
96.
Because he did lose his first 2 games on Thursday, but the way he recovered. Beat his son 4-0 in his first game on Friday.
96.
Then he beat Alex Small 4-0, averaging nearly 102. And then he lost to Robinson 4-2, averaging nearly 100. The standard was exemplary.
140.
There's Alex Moore there in picture.
They were his 2 victims on Friday night.
42.
But at this stage, Robinson might be smelling an opportunity of taking a 2-0 lead. He said it himself. He's feeling
140.
like he's in a good headspace. He's feeling physically good. I'll tell you what, throw some form in there, and then you've got a dangerous player.
140. Reece requires 68.
Then to fill that up, leave 26 and cause all sorts of problems for Robinson. Robinson now looks like he's going 20 for double 18.
Game shot in the second leg.
That's
Reece
crucial.
Robinson.
As soon as Whitlock mounts a comeback in leg 2, Reece takes the shot out
Leg is Reece to throw
and closes the
first.
door.
Game on.
And you could see his body language said he liked it, and he liked it an awful lot. I don't think I was far wrong in saying this fella's started to mature.
140.
As a dart player, he's maturing as a dart player for me.
You would like to think so as well, because I was talking about this the last couple of days, Scott. They met at the UK Open in 2010, these two. 16 years ago. Whitlock's been an ever-present player since then. But that's where we first got to know Robinson.
45.
It may take some time to realise the player that he can be for the long term. But he's still not even that old.
No, he's not, and that's the good thing for him in this day and age. He'll be looking around him, and everybody's talking about the 16 and 18-year-olds now, and he might be feeling like the old man.
140.
But he certainly isn't. I don't think... I remember speaking to Martin Adams, and he said he didn't play his best darts until he was in his 40s, late 40s. And he thinks he matured as a player by then, but we all started later back in the day.
Yeah, I think Peter Wright and Gary Anderson would say the same.
60.
I think even Simon Whitlock would say the same. He probably started playing his best darts when he was Reece's age.
I saw Gary Anderson interview the other day, and he was saying, "Don't tell me it's a young man's game. Do you remember 2015?" He said, "I was 44, Scott Mitchell was 44, and Lisa Ashton was 44. Don't tell us it's a young man's game."
All right, you heard it here. Scott Mitchell is saying that your peak is at the age of 44.
76.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you learn a bit from then. You've learned a bit by then.
He doesn't change the angle on the treble shot
60.
on dart 2, and he might be 3-0 down. Whitlock's in a bit of bother because Robinson hasn't missed a dart at double yet. That continues. We're starting to see Saturday night Reece Robinson. This is a dangerous prospect for everyone.
Simon to throw first. Game on.
Simon just hasn't found the treble like he was last night.
44.
He's just a little bit wayward, and it doesn't help. The scoreline doesn't help you find it any quicker either. That's the problem when you're 3-0 down. And in this situation,
92.
you do not want to be going down to zip at all. Even if you can grab a leg or two and go down 4-2, you've got half a chance, but you don't want to be going down to 0.
99.
Well, let's be frank, this group is simply ridiculous. You got someone who is probably in the top 25 players of all time in Whitlock. You got Robinson, who is one of the greatest players who's graced this place. And then you got Matthew Dennant in this group as well, who hasn't lost this week. The 180s have shown up. However, has it come a little late? That was a risk. He could have gone for the bull. 25 would have left a shot to win the match.
Is that a sign that he's given this leg up? Not sure. I think he was just trying to pressure the shot with as big a score as he could hit. I don't think he was thinking about finishing at all.
97.
He might be now.
95.
It's time for some heroics. He's going to have to power past it. Oh, that's wonderful. That might be the best dart that's been thrown tonight.
Really did hold his nerve well there, didn't he? Really did.
Good leg is Reece to throw first.
Backed himself to hit the treble. Didn't even consider the ball route. And get himself a dart at the ball after hitting the 25 with his first. He knew he could get that 95.
94.
Is he on the comeback charge?
You've played on Saturday nights in very tight situations, Scott. Even if he were to lose by 4 legs to 1, by winning that leg, that might just give him a little bit of extra something to get through. If you lose 4-0, you've got a really steep mountain to climb. But even 58. If he gets another leg in this contest and loses 4-2, it gives him a little bit of room for error.
Yeah, very much so.
96.
If you are tuning in for the first time here on Pluto TV, we welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. 2 groups of 3 players, 2 games per player. The top 2 go through to the semis. And Robinson is feeling it.
Yeah, he is. He's left himself on a bogey on 169, but he knew that he was going to be safe there with Whitlock back on 3-2-2.
That leaves 94.
Yeah, 94 left. 78.
He was gradually getting towards the treble 18. 1 dart at a time there. Oh, it's a good 140. Now he has to pray that he gets a shot. This is a first chance for Robinson to book a first win of the night. Well, that's fascinating. He went for the backwards 74.
51. Simon, you require 82.
One dart tops then for 3-2.
42.
He's a bit high and handsome on that
40.
one.
And now the door is open for Robinson, who's played very well here. The doubles were just superb.
They can't get any better than that. How many times over the last few days have we seen Robinson that good on the doubles? Somewhat Whitlock-esque. 4 out of 4 and almost a 95 average as Robinson beats Whitlock by 4 legs to 1.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. So before the break, Reece Thompson got the better of Simon Whitlock by 4 legs to 1. Another decent performance, 4 from 4 in terms of his checkouts, and an average just under 95. So he's up and running with a 4-1 win. Next up for us is Andy Davidson up against Scott Taylor, the Series 6 champion, about to get his Saturday night underway. And I caught up with him earlier on this evening. Scott, is it fair to say that this week's kind of been a tale of two halves for yourself?
I think even Thursday I struggled. I've been struggling really for about 9-10 months now, but it's not been great. But it's going to turn around. I can feel it coming.
Does it say a lot about the character, the fact that maybe sometimes you don't see you at your best, but you can still get results?
Well, I think even Thursday, I got a little bit lucky really in 2 games, but just got to keep plugging, see where we go.
And going in tonight, it's a clean slate, isn't it? Everyone's back on zero. It's a fresh chance for everyone.
Yeah, the last 2 days don't really matter. I'm not really expecting too much, but I know if I play well, I can win this.
Does that give you an air of free roll then? And because of that, does it make you a little bit dangerous?
Yeah, I'm always on a free roll, really. I don't really expect everything, but if I play well, I know I can win anything.
You are a legend here. You've won 4 weekly titles. You won a Champions Week. You win tonight, you're on to 5, and very few players have done that before.
Yeah, you never know when it's going to stop, so you just got to enjoy it. So that's what we're doing tonight.
Well, we wish you all the very best out there. Scott, good luck tonight.
Cheers, bud.
Game, shot, and the match, and the Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor.
Bullseye for a spectacular finish, and what a way to finish.
They say I wouldn't do it like I won't. They say I couldn't do it and they feel. They say I wouldn't do it and I fall. They say I couldn't do it and I did.
This is ridiculous. At tops, and there it is. On the ball. Oh!
They say I couldn't do it and they feel. They say I
needs to
wouldn't
go.
do it and I fall. They say I couldn't do it and I
And it
did.
beautifully does.
It's Scott Taylor!
Times really do move on very quickly, don't they? Incredible to think it's over 2 years ago since Scott Taylor won that Super Series title. He takes on Andy Davidson. He needs to win to keep himself in commentary. Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
Humble as ever, Scott Taylor is back in black and red and looking to join the elite group of 5 weekly title wins. But Andy stands in his way, and he can find his way through in this fixture. But it's going to be very, very tough for the man from Scotland, because he's up against the Series 6 champion, who is talking down his chances of that 5th weekly title. Well, Andy needs a 4-0 victory or a 4-1 victory to guarantee qualification. But he must win the game, because if he doesn't, Scott Taylor will go through, and he will take Ron Meulenkamp with him. Here's a question for you, Scott. Scott Mitchell, that is. Does this man know how good he is?
I don't think he has a Scooby-Doo how good he is, and I think that's the absolute love of Scott Taylor.
First leg, it's Andy to throw first.
So much so, he doesn't know how many practice darts he's thrown. That's how laid back he is. He just keeps throwing until somebody tells him to stop and go
59.
home. I really do rate Scott Taylor massively. You don't do some of the things that he's done in the game
100.
without being that good. And when everything aligns up for him and things are right for him off the board, we know he's had a few issues, but
60.
he's just that good. When everything's settled, his mind is settled. And we talk about it about many different players, Nico, about how things have to all align
41.
for players to work. He has everything. He's got it all in abundance. But all these little parts of it have got to align.
45.
And then when he is there and he is believing that he is playing well enough to win stuff, he goes and wins stuff. That's what he does. He goes and gets whatever he needs whenever
59.
he wants, because he's that determined as a character and has that much belief in himself. But he's got to be playing well for him to get that belief, if that makes
96.
sense.
I agree. I think a 5th weekly title is inevitable. I'm just not sure if it's going to be tonight. He believes he is,
60.
in his own words, getting there. We've said the same about players in the past, that they are getting there, and they
140.
somewhat spring the surprise by getting the title on the Saturday night. But this is a particularly stacked Saturday, and maybe there are people in better form than
96.
him right now.
Andy, you require 101.
But he has still averaged 100 in the game this week.
I was just about to say the same.
69.
We're waxing lyrical
Scott, you
about the
require
likes of Meulenkamp hitting 100
145.
average, of Robinson hitting 100, Whitlock hitting 100. But under the radar again, Scott Taylor has done the same.
65. Andy, you require 32. Game shot.
Well, there we go. The doubling tonight has been so good that in the first 2 games, we had 16 darts at a double
Game on.
in total from the 4 players that played. That's not normal.
100.
That's the type of standard that makes Scott Taylor play for me.
60.
When he's right up against it and his back's against the wall, he comes out a swinging, doesn't he? He doesn't stand there and take it. He goes toe-to-toe with you.
Yeah, he's the kind of person
100.
who will stick his hand up and say, stick me in there, skipper. I'll get you a point.
Correct. That is him all over. He just
78.
It's just the way that his makeup is. We haven't had lots to do with each other, Scott and I, but whatever bits we have had,
85.
it's been very respectful and it's been good. He's a nice guy.
135.
Yeah, winning the Super Series title in Series 6, it was big for him and his family.
And we both know we've got the best Christian name in the world.
121.
Who flew Thunderbird 1? Scott?
134.
This is Scott against a Scott.
Scott, you require 95.
No, we're in the same boat here. We agree.
What does Taylor want? A 20. And a ball. Oh, it's right in the middle as well. Sweet as a nut.
No fist pump, no jumping up and down, no nothing.
Andy to throw
Didn't even
first.
go for the treble. Went for the big side of it. Make sure you get a dart, something to win.
140.
Oh, he did that all right. Takes the leg with the bullseye. Beautiful stuff from Scott Taylor. And is that the lift that he is going to need
99.
to say, hang on a minute, I'm doing all right here, you know.
You know, this is why you watch darts live. Because you
81.
saw the double 19 from Whitlock to take the 95 out in the previous game. The third dart was sumptuous. It was a great shot. But that bullseye, that's as pure as it gets. Didn't flick his own flight. Just simply saw the red and just said, pop.
Well, we know that he's got the most 170s in the room. So we know he can hit a bullseye anyway. We knew that.
140.
7 170s here, Scott Taylor. Holds the record for that in the Super Series.
100.
He's been rubbing his left eye a little bit. Maybe he's got something in there. They're called stars, Scott.
Indeed.
58.
Wozzie's on fire. I don't know where Wozzie is. He's not here tonight.
No, Wozzie's not here.
96.
He'll be watching, though. He always is.
Wonder if he's got that really colourful hoodie on. Keep him warm.
Yeah, I keep wondering
100.
whether that's the
Andy,
best
you require
darts accessory I've
84.
ever seen. That hoodie or Mark Wilson's backpack.
I've got a hoodie very similar with like paw prints all over it, but I'm frightened to wear it.
68.
So it stays at home.
Now, Scott, this surely is not a bull
Scott, you
shot.
require 104.
In Johnny Clayton's playbook, it is. He'd go 18 double 18 bull. Not right now. It's tops.
64.
A rare miss at
Andy,
a double
you
here
require
tonight.
16.
Double 2. If he
12.
wanted to guarantee his
Scott, you
qualification
require
into the
40.
semi-finals, he needed to hit that.
Taylor then will creep his way down.
Game
And he
shot
does
the
it
third
beautifully.
leg,
You don't
Scott
have to hit it
Taylor.
first start, Nico, as long as you hit it with one of the three.
Functional doubling. Something that everybody's been talking about for the last 13, 14
Four-legged
months.
Scott to throw
If
first.
you're perfect in functional doubling, it doesn't
Game
matter what the
on.
percentage is.
No, it does not. Problem we have.
45.
We're bringing up a generation of kids now, 13, 14, 15, and I'm watching them at Volts, and they're looking at it going, what's my average? What's my average? Did you win, mate? That's what you need to be worried about.
There was even a 13-year-old child today at the
54.
Junior Darts Corporation event who hit a 9-darter at 13.
Well, we had Jaden Walker at my local Vault this
85.
week win the final 3-0 with 121 average.
Darts is hard. We promise you that, but the kids coming through are better than ever.
58.
I used to give him dartboards when he was 4. I wouldn't have done it if I'd have known he was going to start playing like this while I was still around.
58.
And what does Davidson do in this situation now? He lost his first game by 4 legs to 2. He played really well. His best average of the week in a loss.
95.
But he can't automatically qualify through this game now. He's going to need a little bit of help.
92.
So now the motivation is pretty simple. Just win the game.
I think that's what the motivation was for him before he even threw a dart. I think that's the way that he plays. I think he keeps it nice and simple.
140. Andy Carr,
You know there's a bit of
170.
aggression left in the tank there from Taylor.
80. Scott, you require 109.
1 treble, 1 single, 1 double for 3-1. Doesn't get the treble.
85.
So are we about
Andy,
to
you
see
require
a
90.
crucial out from Davidson?
60.
He looked a little uncomfortable on
Scott,
dart
you
2.
require 24.
Yeah, I think missing those darts in the previous leg then makes you think, doesn't it? Taylor's got
Game
the most
shot on the
perfect
full
marker
leg.
there.
Scott
Decided not to
Taylor.
use it. Decided to go high, wide and handsome, but it was still in the double, so
Leg is Andy to throw first. Game on.
he'll be one happy boy. Like I say, he doesn't allow situations to get him, does he?
There's barely anything between them on the stat sheet, and this proves your point, Scott. You were talking about averages in the previous leg. These guys, before that first turn of Davidson, they were almost identical. But look at the score. That's the most important thing.
108.
Absolutely, and the scoreline of 3-1 is what settled Taylor down now
95.
in this next leg. Now the fear is to go off with a 180. He's snarling at this. He's ready for this. He was thinking 9 darter. He was here.
55.
Without doubt.
There's only one person who's done that. We nearly
58.
had one on Tuesday morning from Simon Whitlock. He missed double 18. And it was very close. He's in a little spot of bother in the other group.
99.
He's playing Matthew Dennant in the next game. And by the time we get there, Davidson might be gone.
60. Scott, you require 167.
It's the tough thing being runner-up in Group C. You play your 2 games early doors on finals night.
99.
It's all well and
Andy
good if you
require
win them.
148.
But if you don't, it's bye-bye birdie. He had a 153 to get through in Group C. He can't
Scott, you
find
require
that big out
68.
to save his skin on this occasion. Taylor gets his best chance to win this match. This is to go through with a game to spare. He wasn't banking on hitting that treble. That leaves double 2. He was looking to leave double 18.
64.
Somebody
Andy, you
took the off
require
ramp there.
16. Game shot on the 5th leg. Andy Davidson.
He survives. And this game could take another turn. And what you might be thinking
Second
is,
Scott to throw
on
first.
68, it's all about treble 16
Game
for
on.
double 10. If you get the single, then you have the choice of going for 12 for tops, single 20 for double
63.
16. But he decided, after a little bit of thought, that he wanted to go for 16 for double 18, and he was caught in 2 minds, and that's got to be why he hit the treble.
45.
Because he didn't want to leave double 2 on purpose.
In that situation, what you got to be careful of is if you're a really good grouper and you throw your dart very similar, which you have to be when you get to this level, there is always a fear that you're going to, if you go for another 16 and you've got one already there, Your second dart is going to go very close to where your first one is.
100.
Because your hand-eye coordination has already put it there. So you're asking it to do it again, and it's going to go in a very similar spot.
Oh, my.
139.
That is the best approach shot of the week. The plan was perfect. The execution was perfect.
33. Scott, you require 160.
And that approach shot alone deserves to win this match.
100.
You're going to have to clip that up, put it on social media, and say that is how you treat 299.
Yeah, and get those
86.
influencers that Gary Anderson doesn't
Scott,
like to
you
retweet
require
it.
60.
You're a tease, Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Taylor is looking at tops with time.
40.
Time he needs. Is this the parting shot
99.
for this particular Scot?
Scott, you require 20.
That
Game
Scot
shot,
is
and the
through.
match, Scott Taylor.
And he eliminates the other one. It's been a valiant week for Davidson. I really do hope we see him soon, but it's that Series 6 champion who finds his way through to another semi-final. He doesn't need a 9-dart shootout this time. It's a good performance, and some crucial shots at the right times gives him a 4-2 victory against the now eliminated Andy Davidson.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Before the break, Scott Taylor got the better of Andy Davidson by 4 legs to 2. So he's the first player to be eliminated before we've seen the last player to set foot on the oche tonight. That player being Matt Dennant. He takes on Simon Whitlock in game 4. And I caught up with the scholar earlier on this evening. Matt, it felt like you've never been away from the Super Series. 10 games played, 10 games won, and that looked like a really commanding display in Group C.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Played some decent stuff. There's some improvements to be made, but it's on to finals night now, so that kind of doesn't matter anymore.
In terms of the good stuff, what in particular stood out for yourself?
Felt like timing was good and decent in a lot of places. Finishing wasn't too bad across the week either. But like I said, it's just a new day now, and we'll start again.
So how much does that kind of play into your thinking going into tonight? The fact you've had a little bit of success here and you want to kind of do it again?
Yeah, it'd be good. Obviously tonight's going to be a tough night. There's 6 quality players in the room, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Does that almost feel a little bit like a pro tour in there? When you look at the room, you look at the names, and you look at the kind of quality and the standard that's in there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of talent and a lot of experience in there. So, like I said, we'll see what happens.
First time so nice, you want to do it twice?
That's it.
Right, wish you all the best out there. Matt, you good luck.
Cheers, Henry. Thank you.
Beautiful guide. Double top. Meulenkamp's on his tail. And as you say, he's only going to beat one dart at double top. But one dart at double top is all he needs to win the match.
Tops.
But he's got plenty of space on the left-hand side and finds it to get the job done and to complete what has been a commanding display. Double top foul just about sneaks into the bottom corner. Well, on the night where Luke the Nuke Littler is attending the Brit Awards in London, who's going to be singing to the Tungsten tune? The scholar is hoping that he is certainly tuned up. And don't worry, there'll be no singing in the studio, but always in fine voice in the commentary box is Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, it's all about the styles here in the commentary box, isn't that right, Mr. Mitchell? Because this former European champion, he's in trouble. He's now got to beat this guy who has not lost this week. Matty Dennant has been superb this week. Former weekly winner all the way back in Series 5. That was the last time he was eligible to play here. Well, there you have it. Simon will go through with a 4-0 victory, but nobody has taken 4 legs off Matt Dennant this week in any game. He's 10 from 10, and if he makes it 11 from 11, he will send Whitlock out. This is a really interesting game of 2 players that have had tour cards in the last couple of years. Whitlock's had a bit of a year off from that kind of stuff, but Dennant is fresh off the tour and his first World Championship. This is a really big game here in this place.
Game on.
Yeah, for Simon, I think that he's found darts
123.
away from the Pro Tours very interesting. We've seen him at varying things, and I mean, no more than the Australian Premier League, which got him back into the Worlds. I mean, the pressure of going back home and going back to the other side of the world.
140.
Only one kind of spot available from it and hitting it. Fair play to him. That must have been a tough trip, mentally tough trip
60.
to make sure you go down there and win.
Interestingly, Simon has gone back to the flight and stem combination that he was using last night,
134.
which yielded his best numbers of Group B. So the Reece Robinson flights against Reece did not work.
96. Simon, you require 104.
Let's see if he can take the lead, though, because this is a really buoyant start from the Wizard.
56.
fact, only once this week has Dennant surrendered 3 legs in a game. That's how strong he was in Group C.
Simon, you require 48. Game shot in the first leg.
That's rather good, isn't it? What a start from Whitlock. A 14-darter. Perfect on the double. Just replicate that, and he might have a chance of getting the 4-0 victory he needs.
I'll ask you, Nico, for people of our age, we watch Mr. Taylor
99.
tweak and play and go. And then we watch Raymond van Barneveld doing the same. Now, do we think that Raymond over-tweaked? Because I think sometimes Simon can be guilty of that at times.
Yeah, I think the tweaking of Whitlock has never really been the barrels. It's always been more about the flights and stems, hasn't it? And maybe to a certain degree the points. But when he finds a barrel he likes and a point he likes, he tends to stick with them, but always fiddles with the stems and flights. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I think it's the top half of the setup that tends to get more attention.
I think when Mr. Taylor was doing it back in the day, I think it was more to get in the head of his main rival, which was Barney at the time. And then Barney started doing something very similar and kind of fell into the trap where he didn't really know where he was.
It could be Matty Dennant who was falling into the Wizards' trap here. This performance from the Wizard.
100. Simon, you require 47.
Where was this in the previous game? Oh boy, this is A-grade Whitlock. This is the Tuesday morning stuff that we saw from him. After 3 legs in round 1 on Tuesday morning, he was averaging 115.62, and that's exactly what he's doing right here.
Yeah, I always feel that winning Group C is a bit tough because when you don't get rewarded for winning, you come in and throw second against a guy that's already thrown first. There's no other combination or way of doing it so that that person can get to throw
57.
first by being a group winner. But when I've played in it and won Group C, I've always found it difficult to come out cold a couple of games in when everybody else is now warmed up and ready to go and your opponent's already had 1 game. But that's looking at it from a player's point of view.
Well, here's the problem
93.
that we have 3-4 minutes into this game. And this is how fast things can move on a Saturday night. If Whitlock does win 4-0, that means that Dennant will have to win 4-0 just to get through against Rhys Robinson.
And there's an element of you're sat in the players' room going, well,
57.
I'm still in. Davidson's gone home before you've even thrown an arrow. And now all of a sudden, you've gone from being nice and cool and warmed up in the frying pan straight into the fire.
Yeah, you go from being the favourite for the night to being in jeopardy. Welcome to Saturdays.
Yeah, and that whole
78.
bookies graphic is one of the things I try to avoid like the plague in that back room.
Couldn't agree more. Look at the buffer that Whitlock's got right here.
40.
It's not gone well. But he is coming back. Dennant's got to put him under pressure. He has
60.
been given the toughest group of the 2 tonight.
74.
There's no doubt about that. And he's got Whitlock warmed up. Tops for 3-0.
34. Matt, you require 156.
The scholar needs to find an A+.
58. Simon, you require 40.
You don't envisage him missing this.
Slid along the hockey there as to try not to use it, but ultimately ended up using it.
In less than 6 minutes,
Matt to throw first.
Whitlock has gone
Game on.
from almost eliminated to almost through. He's only the second person this week to take 3 legs off Dennant. He's the first to get to 3-0. These guys have not met each other for a decade. They played in a Players' Championship against each other in September of 2016.
93.
That day, Simon lost to Michael van Gerwen, the eventual champion of that tournament, and Michael hit a 9-darter against him. Magical things
60.
seem to happen when these two lock horns.
He probably won't remember playing Matty then.
No, he probably doesn't. It was a long time ago.
120.
Well, not on that day. If MVG did a 9-darter, if you're going to remember something, that's the bit you'd remember, wouldn't you, all these years ago?
140.
Every leg that
Microphone
Dennant can get now
148.
is precious. Just make sure you get this one.
78.
Yeah, nice recovery with the last dart there from Dennant. Looks easy. It's not when you're 3-0 down. The easiest thing to do is drag that into a 4.
Well, his doubles over the last couple of days were very polished. And they are just right there. But that was only a hold of throw. So Whitlock is not through automatically.
Game on.
But he's still in a decent position here. If he can hold and win the game by 4 legs to 1. Dennant is a different player these days. After his Alexandra Palace experience, which was the biggest thing he's ever done, he did lose the game against Kevin Dutz. However, it seems to have had a very
60.
big positive effect on him.
Yeah, he knows he can play in that atmosphere. He knows he can handle it. And for me, at the age of 34, he's still a young
39.
man. He's still learning the game, and he's been around a while. And like you say, is this him starting to mature into a really solid player?
Now, based on your words from earlier in the night, Scott, he's 10 years from his peak.
Well, yeah, possibly, but that wasn't me. That was Wolfie.
96.
And Gary Anderson, not me. I've not reached my peak yet. I'm going to believe that.
Very nice.
96.
Advantage Dennant. He could break. And imagine if he breaks, then holds. Then we've got a 1-leg shootout.
93.
No game has gone to 4-3 tonight. This one still could.
$95. Matt, you require 93.
Really good visit from Whitlock. Needed that treble desperately to pressure this situation.
That's about
36.
as negative a reaction as we've
Simon, you
seen
require
from Matt this
96.
week. Because he knows it's not in his hands anymore. Needed 2 of them. Didn't
40.
get 1.
Matt, you require 57.
He's been doing that all week long. Those single to double combos, he's been taking them in 2 or 3 all the time.
We've both had games like that, though, where you know if you can get to the double, you can hit it. But it's getting there of being the problematic thing. And some nights you have nights like that where you just can't score enough to get there. And other nights you score like a trooper and then can't get out the other end.
Sometimes it's really hard to
58.
eloquently say what confidence feels like. But based on what we see from Matt right now and the last couple of days,
58.
I don't know what you feel about this, Scott, but I think he's gone from being an I hope player to an I can player.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I think that is a really good statement.
171.
And it is a thing. There's no 2 ways about it.
But can he get out of this now?
97.
That 171 from Whitlock was fabulously timed. Still needs a treble. You can get another bull. It is an option. Oh, that's worked out really well. He was going for the 25 and bull second dart because he was trying to make sure that he can leave a finish with dart 3.
A lot of players get in that
58.
situation
Simon,
and
you require
forget that they can use the
148.
referee and ask what's exactly left.
If this was a tennis match, it would be advantage Whitlock.
120.
Not quite game set in the match yet, but he's getting close.
And he's had a match dart. Dennant, all he can do is hit and hope here, but he needs to hit a treble.
60.
You feel
Simon, you require
hasn't quite
28.
happened.
Things are very tight in this group. This might have to go in if he wants to go through.
Game shot.
It's a beautiful dart from Simon. He's clinging on in Group 2, the most stacked group of the night, and he will have to wait to see if Rhys Robinson can do him a little bit of a favour later on. Dennant has problems. He's lost for the first time this week by 4 legs to 2.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, as Simon Whitlock has kept his hopes of qualifying through to the semi-finals alive. A 4-2 win over Matt Dennant in Game 4. Scott Taylor on Meulenkamp is a straight shootout in match number 5 to see who tops that particular group. And so them two going head-to-head. It's England against the Netherlands. These two actually went head-to-head at Champions Week in Series 6 here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And these two gentlemen have come all the way from Canada to be here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. So we do say they come from far and wide, and they are having a fantastic night of that. There is absolutely no doubt. So to Game 5 and to Meulenkamp and Taylor in the commentary box with a slightly lesser commute is Messrs Mitchell and Nicholson.
I think with this game we can take a little bit of a break from the pressure because both players are through to the semi-finals once again. And what we can tell you because of legs 1 is that Matthew Dennant, by getting 2 legs in his game with Simon Whitlock, has put himself in a position to get through to the semi-finals. Even though he's lost his first game 4-2, he simply has to beat Rhys Robinson, and he can go through on legs 1 here tonight. But as for this one, Henry's right. It's all about who wins Group 1. And if you do win Group 1, of course you get the darts in the semi-finals. And you don't really care who you play in the semi-finals because you haven't got a clue when you're playing this game. You're too busy trying to top the group. You got one of the best players who's not won a weekly title here in Ron Meulenkamp, and you've got one of the best players that's won a bunch.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
In Scott
first
Taylor.
leg is Scott to throw first. Game on.
What will the outcome be is the question.
134.
Both having won both games on the evening. Something's got to give, and you don't want to go into the semi-finals on the back of a loss, do you really?
137.
Mentally, you don't want to.
When you come to a Saturday night, I'm assuming, Scott, that the mindset is I want to win 4 games.
58.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it is. And it really is that simple. If you start overcomplicating it and start thinking about groups and who could beat who and what could beat what and who you could end up with in the semi-final, it's just you're going down a whole maze that your mind cannot handle. So you just come in here, keep it simple, win every game I play, and I'll go home when they tell me, or I lift the trophy.
And that's how you get out of a maze. You find yourself at a junction. You either turn left, or you turn right, or you go backwards or forwards. That kind of stuff is what happens in a maze. If you start thinking about, I don't know where this goes, do I turn left when I go next? You're getting too jumbled. It's one decision at a time. The little victories add up to the big one. So you have to use your mind correctly.
Because ultimately, it's your mind that convinces you
Scott,
whether you can win or
70.
lose at the end of the day. It can stop you or it can help you.
30.
There's the snarl from Taylor, but it doesn't help him to win the first leg. This might win it. That's a beautiful 2-dot kill from Ron. He's on it tonight, all right. Averaged over 101
Second leg is
in his first game with 4 out of 6 on the doubles.
Game on.
The levels that you need to secure victory on a Saturday, he's obviously got them.
That's his 8th ton plus finish of the week, and let's not forget, he's only played 3 days of it.
140.
This is his 4th.
So for the best part of half a year, we were talking about the Group A
96.
curse, where people couldn't win Group A and win on the Saturday night. Now, we could have 3 in a row. So what do we start calling that?
99. 140.
Should switch now. Again,
92.
It's about making sure that the last dart can leave a finish. If you gamble on dart 2 there on the 60, you might not be able to leave the shot.
58. Ron, you
We've seen it from both players tonight. That is what everybody needs to get into their arsenal in 2026.
98.
If you don't know how to do it, learn.
Definitely.
$45. Ron, you
Could be another 14 darter here for Meulenkamp. He started with one.
Double 6 should be better for the left-hander, surely.
66.
No, it wasn't.
There's only one way that could have gone worse, and that is if he'd bust the whole thing.
Taylor back on 162 with that.
65.
7 with his last dart of the other visit, but that was a good move. Get himself down under a ton on using the 25.
Game shot on the second leg.
But it's all to no avail. Meulenkamp takes out double 3.
Third leg is Scott to throw first.
He's got confidence in his game at the
Game
minute.
on.
You can see it oozing out of him.
It's been a bit of a cosmopolitan series so far when it comes to
41.
winners. We have got a Dutchman in Champions Week already in Kiana van Velsen, who's looking to do the brotherly double in a week where we've had a father play a son.
100.
2 Welsh players through in Steve Green and Derek Coulson. 1 English player in Graham Hall. And don't forget about Radek Sagansky, who played really well in week 3.
60.
Isn't it nice to see that the guys from Canada came all the way here to watch the Modus Super Series?
Really is super. I'm wondering whether they came
58.
just for us or whether they were over here travelling maybe, or maybe going to a Premier League and then sort of decided to do a few sort of darts venues while they were here.
Yeah, get yourself to Cardiff on Thursday and then off to Minehead the day after. Make a week of it.
100.
There they are.
The guy on the left actually reminds me of the... Used to be the richest man on the Titanic. Remember John Jacob Astor?
I definitely
60.
don't know.
He used to own Hever Castle in Sussex.
If he owned a pedigree herd of cows, I might have known him.
180.
Get your gills around that one.
58.
Meulenkamp is having Taylor for dinner because it isn't breakfast time anymore. 15 for tops.
65.
If he keeps playing like this for the rest of the night, I'm reluctant in saying that he can be stopped.
42. Ron, you require 40.
He's looking very polished at the moment, isn't he?
Game shot on the third leg. Ron Meulenkamp.
Well, well, well. He's played 10 legs tonight and he's won 8 of them.
Fourth leg is Ron to
If
throw
he wins
first.
the next leg.
Game on.
That is quite incredible considering the company he's in.
He's doing the simple things right, isn't he? And making them look relatively easy.
58.
Isn't this a lovely game when it's going like that?
Absolutely. You're not missing singles. You're hitting trebles every time you get to the board. Your doubles are going.
In
58.
turn, you don't think about missing singles. You don't think about missing trebles. And this is where I'm going on about the mindset. Because you believe you're going to hit it every time. You're convincing yourself that your body can and your arm and your ability can hit it whenever you wish. It's a lovely place to be in, inside your head.
And even when he has a bad visit like he just has, he didn't react.
98.
What's the point? Just soak it up and move on. Put it right the next time.
140.
Which he does.
Yeah, super last dart. Taylor won't run away,
95.
That's a long way back to Bolton.
Knows where the cameras are.
I think he knows about the big picture as well. Yes, he might be getting run at the wrong moment, but he could have the last laugh because
55.
they could be in the final.
Correct, Amondo.
Might be wise just to fire in a couple of
100.
warning shots, though. We've seen people in 3-0 leads a lot over the last 3.5 years in this building.
140.
Looks like it's got to go.
150.
It will not. And we could be on the verge of our first 4-0 of the night. That has worked out pretty well, actually. Now he's got single to double. One dart for 4-0.
Game shot. And the
Pinpoint
Meulenkamp.
from Ron Meulenkamp, who was 50% on his doubles in that contest. 8-leg wins tonight from 14 darts at a double. It's world class for Meulenkamp, and he is the person who wins Group 1.
I've got a condition that's called trigeminal neuralgia, which is essentially where the nerve that's in your jawline is affected by something. In my case, it's the main artery in my brain is pressing on the nerve and has made an indent on the nerve. Unfortunately, that's what the MRI has showed, and that's what causes electric shock type pain. So, the best way I can describe it is if you ever touch an electric fence and imagine what that sensation's like and repeat that process sort of for 5 minutes of every day, that's kind of what it feels like. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. It's one of the top 10 most painful conditions in medicine when I looked it up. So in September, I made the decision to kind of hit the gym again to get myself back in a little bit better shape. Unfortunately, that triggered the shocks again, because naturally, if you're working out, you're going to be pumping a lot more blood through you, and as it turns out, the main artery in my brain was pressing more on the nerve again and brought the pain back, which I couldn't believe it when it comes back again. We're still not 100% sure whether I will need surgery or not. There's a possibility that it might just be an injection into the nerve to essentially paralyze it for life, and that again should take the pain away. I'm in the hands of neurologists at the moment, so I don't really know what the future is for it. But yeah, I'll say at least we've got a diagnosis now, and we can move forward and look to the future.
Yeah, I had a really good chat with Andy Davidson on Thursday afternoon before Group C got underway, and it's been a long and challenging year or so for him, as you heard there. There's a more extensive interview with him that'll be available across our various platforms here at the Super Series and on Pluto TV in due course. So for him, just to be through to this Saturday night is an achievement within itself. But he isn't going to qualify through to the semi-finals. That is because he lost both of his matches, as you can see early on in the evening's action. So we've got one more game to go in terms of the pool stages. Well, Meulenkamp made it 2 from 2 by getting the better of Scott Taylor 4-0 before the break. But it's a little bit more muddied the waters as far as Group 2 is concerned. Now, Rhys Robinson qualifies with a leg in this game. Matt Dennant qualifies with a win over Rhys Robinson, while Simon Whitlock, well, he is watching on in the practice and rather hopeful that Rhys Robinson realistically wins. So he goes through if Double R does get that victory, or if Matt Dennant wins by 4-0. Right, let's get into it then. It's our final group match, and it's Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson that'll be talking us through it.
Yes, indeed, the final chapter of drama in the groups, and I'm sure there will be more when we get to the semi-finals. Let's get into the meat and the bones of this one then. And who thought this was going to happen? Matt Dennant has lost a game. His streak ends at 10, courtesy of the former Australian captain, Simon Whitlock. He sits in the practice room right now, waiting to see if he's done enough. And if Rhys Robinson wins one leg in this game, he is through. As for Matt, by winning 2 legs against Whitlock, he's made it a bit easier on himself. He just needs to win the game. He doesn't need to win by a margin. He just needs to win. And that does make things easier, doesn't it, Scott?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Matt to throw first.
Yeah, very much so.
Game on.
Keeps it nice and simple. I'm sure Simon Whitlock will be a big
100
Rhys Robinson fan, but Matty Dennant sets about his task beautifully with his opening 3 darts.
60.
This has got the air of a knockout game, when in fact both players could go through.
100.
And these are 2 players who were part of the start of the development tour. At the start of the previous decade,
45.
It was Rod Harrington who had a dream. And he said, these young players, they need to play each other a bit more. And we need to look after the future. And these 2 were there at the start.
100.
Yeah, and he was absolutely right. If you see who were the types of player that keep coming off the conveyor belt from the Dev Tour.
100. Matt, you require 121.
This is how I feel about Rhys Robinson. I think he's maturing now as a dart player. Some players mature 18 and 19.
89.
And others mature a little bit later. When things all line up.
60. Matt, you require 32.
Dennant here has been superb to leave a double after 12.
Game
Nice
shot in the first
13
leg,
darter to
Matt
open up
Dennant.
in a game that you have to win. Sends a message to the opponent.
Doesn't he just?
Second leg is Reese to throw first.
It's
Game
as
on.
if he's been in the corner with his team and he's taken a few blows in the first few rounds, and then they said, all right, Matt, let's see what you got.
48.
You know how it is in the boxing ring, Scott, when your corner says to you, you're going to have to knock this guy out if you want to win. It's the same situation here.
134.
He's got to knock Reece Robinson out, figuratively speaking, if he wants to be part of the semi-finals.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the
40.
situation. Now, I haven't been in many boxing rings, but I have sort of like been in the situation back in my school days.
140.
And we'll leave it at that.
I can't imagine anybody picking on you.
I was little at school. I don't know what happened, but I was little.
Something tells me you had the last
92.
laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Good old days.
93.
A good pick-off from Matt. Nobody expected Simon Whitlock to be 3-0 up on Matt. Who thought it was possible that Dennant could possibly
100.
do the same to Robinson?
Matt, you require 134.
Now remember, if Robinson doesn't win a leg in this contest, he's out. That's 58 left. He should go 18s here.
94.
Thought out perfectly.
$91. Matt, you require 40.
That is a
Game shot in the
really
second
big
leg,
double for Matt.
Dennant.
Look what Robinson was on. That 130 is extremely gettable. But the
Third
guts and
leg is Matt to
determination
throw
from
first.
Dennant to hit that double 5, that shows you where his confidence is.
Game on.
Yeah, it sure does.
$125.
Great recovery from that first start. That is a player with just oozing confidence.
121.
I think confidence is easy to get when you keep winning darts matches. But if you can win one like this off a loss, what does that tell you?
100.
It tells you that he's got more than he had before.
$95.
I'm not entirely sure that these guys have got any fans with them tonight. They may be flying solo. But if Dennant wins this leg, which is looking extremely likely now, the next leg
135.
is effectively a one-leg shootout.
It is indeed. Again, you
78.
just do not
Matt, you
know
require
what is going to turn
61.
up and happen in this live lounge.
Double 8.
$45.
There will be more darts for Dennant to get the 3-0 lead. There's not one person in this building
57.
right now
Matt,
thinking
you
about who's going to
require
finish first and second in
16.
this group. It's all about this shot. We're living in the moment.
Game
The
shot
moment
in
is
the
won
third
by
leg,
Dennant,
Matt
and it
Dennant.
is a one-leg shootout. If Robinson wins this leg, the match is still alive
Third
and
leg is
he's
Reese to throw
through.
first.
But if he loses this leg, he's eliminated.
100.
Who thought that was possible 10 minutes ago?
Couldn't see it coming, and I suppose
58.
Whitlock's changed allegiances now. He wants Matty Dennant to win this.
$97.
You know how they always say, pick a side? Well, why bother? You're not in control. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Matty Dennant here is just thinking of himself, and that's the only way to play it. He's got to go and win the game.
Yeah, there's
Doesn't
nothing
matter
wrong.
if it's 4-1, 4-2, whatever. He's got to go and win the game.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being selfish in darts, Scott. You know this.
100.
It's the way the game is now. It's more of an individual sport than it's ever been.
$97. $94.
That's a great pick-off. This game could be a perfect storm for both players.
99.
He did the second treble there, didn't he, Dennant? All about Robinson now. Treble 18 for double 18. That doesn't go. 72.
54. Matt, you require 154.
Headed for the 16s. This would be massive.
No prizes for guessing how he's feeling right now.
53. Risha require 56.
This is to get through. Might be his only chance. Incredible dart from Rhys Robinson. He knew what was going on here. He makes the semis. Dennant still has work to do. Now Whitlock is very much on the cliff edge.
Game on.
This group was never going to disappoint. One of the most stacked groups any Saturday night has ever seen. Based on
13.
experience, talent, and titles.
We have a situation where whoever wins this leg wins the group.
43. $99.
Matty is a bit inspired this week. He is a dad, as is Rhys. And you can be very much inspired by your children and what they achieve. And what they would like to see you doing.
101.
It somewhat humanizes this game, doesn't it? Where you've got two dads playing each other. And all of a sudden, this game is about more than pride.
85.
It's like the school sports day without the running.
Who are you backing in a 60-yard dash between these two, then?
Matty.
100.
I backed them both in the throwing events.
$40.
Advantage Dennant once again. He's yet to get a qualification shot. He's about to get one.
Yeah, that was a touch unfortunate, wasn't it? Deserved a little bit more than that. 3 well-thrown darts, didn't find the desired
92.
location. And
Mike, you
same
require
could be said for
88.
Robinson there with that last dart.
He gets his chance. Chance taken as well.
Matt Dennant.
It's a perfect storm for both players because they're both going through. And the big news here in Portsmouth is that Simon Whitlock is out. He's the only person to beat Matt Dennant this week so far, but the Wizard does not survive Group 2.
So the group stage action here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth has come to a close. And before the break, we saw Matt Dennant get the better of Reece Robertson by 4 legs to 1. And that created the big upset of the night, because that means that Simon Whitlock has been eliminated. His 4-2 win against Matt Dennant proving insurmountable in the end. So that is how the pool stage action looked. This is how the rest of the night now looks, because we now know our semi-finals and the route towards the final. Ron Meulenkamp and Reece Robertson will go head-to-head in the first semi-final, whilst Matt Dennant will then take on Scott Taylor in semi-final number 2. In fact, interestingly, neither of those players have played one another all week long, so their first match will be in the semi-finals. Right, let's get into the crux of what we've seen in the group stage, and we're going to do it in the company of Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson. They've been in commentary all night, and they join us now in the studio. First things first, I suppose the big upset is Simon Whitlock falling at the first hurdle.
He played really well in his second game, but just got off to a slow start in his first match. That group was always going to be really tough to call. There was going to be an upset come what may. Say if Reece had gone home, or Matt had gone home, or Whitlock going home as he is, it was always going to be really tight, and it doesn't get much tighter than that. In fact, it's as tight as it gets without a 9-dart shootout.
It felt like one of those groups where it was players doing the right things as opposed to players doing something wrong.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think Simon did a great deal wrong. Like you say, you could criticise a slow start, but it was just one of those groups. It was always going to be tight, and unfortunately, he's the one that bows out.
Right, let's talk about the two players that did make it through. We'll begin with Reece Robinson, and in particular what you felt he did so well tonight so far.
He did exactly what Simon didn't. He got off to a really good start. The ability to put himself in a progressionary position is what he did. And he knows this all too well. Every time he comes here, he puts himself in that position and he knows exactly what he's got to do in the next match. But it just so happens that when he played Dennant, he looked a bit nervy because we know for a fact that he knew he needed one leg. He's not silly. He might come across as someone who doesn't know a great deal, but he knows more than he lets on. He knew he needed one leg, and that fourth leg against Dennant, it was crucial, and he was nervy.
So in terms of resources, we know that he's made it through. As well as Matt Dennant has also progressed his way into the semi-finals. How would you say that he's progressed through the evening so far, Scott?
I would say it's better to do it the way that he has. Probably lose his first one, win his second one, so you're going into it, if you can pick the way that you do it, you're going in with momentum now. That was a big moment to win that 4-1. That was massive for him. He knew he had to do it by that margin, and to then go and actually do it, he must be sort of bouncing around there in the players' room.
We could be talking about tonight for Matt Dennant as one of the biggest nights of his career in moving into the player that he always wants to be. Remember, he was 3-0 down against Simon Whitlock. Mm-hmm. At that point, you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute. Whitlock's going to get through if he wins leg 4. He doesn't, but Dennant gets the 2 legs, but then loses 4-2. It just so happens that winning those 2 legs is one of the reasons why he's through.
And we say it all too often, don't we, here in the past, if you're not going to win, make sure you lose as tightly as possible. But in terms of the other group, Scott, it's seemingly a full-goal conclusion. Andy Davidson didn't play poorly at all. It was just other players hit the right things at the right times against him.
Well, Ron opened up with a 100 average against him, and he did a 98 average and lost. And you think, poor Andy, well, what has he done wrong? Absolutely nothing. And you can say in his second game, he didn't do a lot wrong there either. So, yeah, he bows out. But again, he bows out with his head held high.
In terms of the players that did make it through, we'll begin with Ron Meulenkamp because he set the standard light, as Scott said, averaged 101 in that opening game and then got the better of Scott Taylor by 4-0 in his second. He just looked imperious, impressive. You could put all the adjectives in the world and it would be appropriate to describe his performance so far tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm stealing one of Scott's words from earlier on. It's accomplished. Because Monday morning, he comes here after a bit of time away from this place. He starts with 100 average and you think, okay, Ron's back. But what kind of Ron? Is it going to be a flash in the pan? Is it going to be someone who can sustain brilliance? He's sustained a very good level of performance all week, averaging 91 every day he's played. But what we've seen from him tonight is better than that. This is knockout-style darts from Ron. He put Andy Davidson on the shelf, and he was able to take out a series champion somewhat mundanely. He's got another gear.
You know Ron very well, Scott. Obviously, you played on the BDO circuit. You applied a little bit of your trade on the PDC alongside him. In terms of the way that he's played over the last few days, how close is this to his very top level?
I think it's really close. I think there's a few things that has changed in his dart in life away from the board. And I think that that's sort of complemented what he's doing on the board. So where he would be, he'd have that excellence. He would go off and do it, but then he would go and bomb the next game. He was very feast and famine. What we're seeing now is an absolute complete Ron. He's just doing it really, really well.
And just quickly a word on Scott Taylor tonight.
Got off to a pretty decent start, but then he just came up against Meulenkamp, didn't he? And people are going to have to try and figure out how to get through Ron tonight, because he looks like he's ready to get that first weekly title. But the main thing is, and Taylor talks about this a lot, it's a question of getting through the group. Check. Getting through to the semis. Check. Who has the experience of winning in the semis and final? Scott. So now he's got to somehow figure out how to get through this stacked last four. I just question whether he can.
So that is the story of tonight. We'll preview the semi-finals in due course in a few moments' time. But week 7 gets underway in earnest on Monday morning. You may recognise one or two of the faces that are involved.
For this 1-4-6, and it's on. Treble 18, for double 16 for a 1-4-6. Oh my word!
Game shot on the 4th lane. Dylan Slevin.
The first one is going to go tops. He does, so it's double turn for a 140 checkout.
Well, what a shot!
Game shot on the 1st lane. Jesus Nogueira.
It's been one of those games where the player phone first has had all the time that they've wanted. Double 18.
Quiet for Thomas. And so it's double top.
Hello, Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Goodbye, leg. Where'd that come from?
Hammer to go one up here. And he does so.
Game shot on the second leg, Andy Hamilton.
Still the target. Bullseye. Oh, what a shot by Bookby.
Should be a good guide for Fallon Sherrock, who does use it perfectly. And
Fallon Sherrock!
So this is what we've got to look forward to when it comes to Monday morning. You're going to be in amongst it. Scott, what do you make of that group you've been prized into?
Absolutely love it. What else am I going to say? No, I'm happy to be playing the full week. So, yeah, looking forward to it already.
How is the darts at the minute?
Fantastic.
He's not going to tell you anything different. He's not
I'm going to try, aren't I?
He's not going to say, well, you know, they're a bit here. He's going to talk a confident game because he's got to send a message a couple of days in advance. I applaud him for what he's saying.
Welcome to my new manager.
Well, this is the rests of how the week looks. And obviously, Nico, Fallon Sherrock's in Group B, won the Women's Week at the beginning of the year. And there's signs that her game is really beginning to move back in the right direction again.
It's a winning start, isn't it? Winning the Women's Week, and she hadn't done that before. It's proven to be a tricky prospect to win a Women's Week. But now that is checked off the list, she can move on to the next challenges. Now, winning at the Women's Series is very difficult because there's a certain Bo Greaves there. But don't forget about Andy Hamilton. In Group B next week, he's going to be fancying a third weekly title because he's starting to figure this place out.
And don't discredit James Buckby. He played one of the Rising Stars week. He comes from the university setup, and I've seen some videos over the last few weeks or so of a lot of events have been taking place, varsity rise. And I'll tell you what, that's a scene that's very much growing. We saw what Adam Warner did.
Yeah, absolutely. We need different avenues for people to come here. Obviously, with people under the age of 21, we want our rising stars to come through. It's not just the boys that we want to see as well. We want to see the girls coming through. And we've got the Queen of the Palace next week. We've also got the veterans. We've got the people who have won world titles, people who have been to World Championship finals. There's a whole mix next week. That's going to make it really watchable.
Yeah, we're going to get underway from 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning here on Pluto TV. Right, back to tonight then, because we've got a couple more semi-finals for you. Ron Meulenkamp takes on Reece Robinson, then Matt Dennant taking on Scott Taylor before the final will determine who the sixth player through to Champions Week is going to be. Right, we'll give you a semi-final each, gents. I'll start with you, Scott, with Ron Meulenkamp against Reece Robinson. Two players that we know if they play to type can give us absolute fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a really tight semi-final. I think it could be one leg either way.
And is it one of those games that it feels like if someone just does something at the right time, that's probably going to be the difference?
Yeah, there's probably only going to be one turning point in the game, and it's whoever hits it.
There's a feeling in the Dennant-Taylor game that Matt Dennant's playing the better darts, but again, we know what Scott Taylor can do in a one-game burst.
Both winners here. One person's got one, the other one's got so many more. But the thing is, and we spoke about this the last couple of days, when someone's got a reputation, they may have won something very large in their career, or we used the example of Kevin Painter, in fact, made a world final in 2004. And maybe that can carry some gravitas coming into a game with a certain player. But in a game like this second semi-final, it's about who's playing the best darts now. If you had to put your hand on someone's name, it would have to be Dennant. It has to be. It's not about 4 weekly titles right now. It's about who's playing the best darts in the last 72 hours, and that has to be Dennant.
Well, the players are just warming up behind us, Scott, and it's interesting because you can make an argument that Ron Meulenkamp's been playing the best darts of anybody tonight, yet is the only one in the field that hasn't won a weekly title yet.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's a very good case, but, you know, Ron is looking good, and he's a different player at the moment.
Well, there we go then. Both players warming up on the stage. Ron Meulenkamp and Reece Robinson, the first semi-final, and that's going to get underway in a couple of moments' time. And it is a semi-final between two players that are still looking for that big moment here at Champions Week. They have played at Champions Week, the pair, and they're looking to return.
He does just that. Pinpoint. And getting off to that kind of start is exactly what Robinson was looking for. The doubles were just...
So here we go then. The first semi-final is a meeting between Ron Meulenkamp and Reece Robinson. These have been two of the impressive performers so far this week, but only one can make it through to the final. To find out who, let's head over to the commentary box and say hello once again to Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
I'm not sure you could ask for a more stacked semi-final lineup, but the thing is, with the 6 players that we had here tonight, it was always going to be stacked. You have a weekly title winner in Andy Davidson out. You have a PDC major champion out. What remains is tantalising. There are people who want to add to their resume. But like Henry mentioned, Ron, who is now 37 years of age and maturing beautifully as a dart player, maybe this is Ron 3.0. He's still looking for his first weekly title. He has played at Champions Week, as has Robinson. He's looking for a series. But in order to get it, he's got to get there.
To be the show pony, they say, you've got to do the donkey work. And this is the donkey work. You've got to make sure you win your week.
So in these semi-finals, we have 2 fixtures. Meulenkamp versus Robinson. They have not played each other at all this week. Matty Dennant against Scott Taylor. They have not met at all this week. Starting as we mean to go on. This could be a rather good hour.
He's only hit 180 all night, Ron Meulenkamp, but he hasn't had to. That's his second. And what timing. It's a good reply from Robinson, in fairness.
81.
What would you rather have, Scott? A bucket full of 180s or his doubles percentage for the night?
Much rather the doubles percentage for the night because it's telling me that I'm getting there.
140.
8 hits from 14. When you're better than 50%, you're doing something right, especially when you're getting plenty of chances. But it seems like something else has turned up at the start of this semi. Can anybody stop this guy?
It's not the time to leave it in the practice room, is it, in the semi-final, that's for sure. Or the final, but
140.
they're all where they know where they can be now.
60.
It's all about straight knockout.
He can't use the marker and he might lose this first leg, having not taken an 11 or 12 darter.
Bullseye then for Robinson. This would be big.
38.
He's a bit mystified as to how that went so high. Meulenkamp from the left-hand side of the hockey. Still plenty of room.
10.
The doubles have deserted him.
49.
Have indeed. Robinson here telling himself, come on.
On he comes, and there's a reaction from Robinson, and we've seen that from him before. And I think Meulenkamp has just got the message. Oh, it's that kind of game, is it? Well, that's the kind of game we want.
Yeah, you got to be careful not to get embroiled in the
135
celebration front.
He's going to get rid of that loose strand. Thanks, Ron. That was annoying everybody.
I usually leave them there and I aim at them.
Ironically, I think he would have hit it with that dart.
95.
But it just goes to show what kind of mood he's in. He doesn't want anything to get in his way. Even a little bit of sizel.
It's a controlled
100.
mood, isn't it? Being in control of everything around him.
And we don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know who's going to win this semi-final, indeed the evening.
47.
But the behaviours we've seen from Meulenkamp over the last 3.5 days that he's played in week 6, I think he's got everybody on
16.
notice for 2026 because he is looking good.
Yeah, very much so.
But he will have more people talking if he wins.
125.
I think he's trying to get rid of that dart, that jabby one where the arm just twists.
Yeah, it's always last dart as well. But what that score did, it closed him in on Robinson.
66.
And he needed that treble to get him away again. Meulenkamp needs a ton minimum requirement here. That means one of these trebles has to go.
64. Risha require 140.
He's thinking ton.
60.
A ton he does
Ron,
not get.
170.
Biggest finish of the night came from Robinson. It was 115. That is not about to be bettered in this leg.
60. Risha require
Awkward
80.
that for Meulenkamp. But Robinson here on 80.
Needs to cruise above.
Game shot.
He just seems to have the knack when it comes to knockout darts here at the Modus Super Series. The form book stated that Meulenkamp was the favourite for this match.
Game on.
Is he any more?
Well, he can't afford to lose this leg for me. This could be the turning point. We said there could be a turning point in the match. And possibly only one. This could be it.
100.
Roughly 30 years ago, there was a famous line from Tom Cruise in the movie Jerry Maguire.
131.
Nobody said winning was cheap. From an emotional standpoint, in darts, that is bang on. Because right now they are
100.
spending everything they've got left in their arsenal. All of their belief, all of their talent is going into this little bubble
95.
on the Portsmouth stage. If they've got anything left at the end of the night, they haven't spent enough.
Correct.
140.
I go back to the week that Keegan Brown won.
58.
The reaction at the end of the win.
161.
He had nothing left. He left it all out there. And Meulenkamp has got to learn from that right now. He should be the freshest of the bunch. What does he do?
Doesn't have to go for it. That's what he doesn't have to do.
121.
He was never tempted, was he?
No, sensible move. Question now
91.
is, has he weathered the Robinson
40.
storm? If he gets this...
Game shot in the third leg.
Or has Robinson just been throwing not interested knowing that the leg was gone?
Maybe we're about to find out.
Reese to throw first.
It's a 14 dart holder throw for Meulenkamp. That's about all he could do with that leg.
Do you know it's these situations, Scott, where people realise that when they come off the tour, and let's say that these two had just done so, these games educate these players as if to say, hang on a minute, this is not the Pro Tour, but how hard is this?
I think they re-educate because they've been there before, been away from it and come back. I know that feeling. It's a re-education.
60.
It's not that you can't do it. It's just reminding yourself of it again week after week. The easiest thing to do is to drop off the tour and then not play too much and pick and choose what you do. That's not the way to do it. Before you got your card, you were playing everywhere and limiting your chance, limiting the odds of you winning stuff.
41.
And you've got to go back to that and not pick and choose. And sometimes we make the mistake of coming off thinking we need a mistake and we pick and choose a little bit. Just get in and play everything is my advice.
58.
As for Robinson, he does limit the amount of things he plays in these days. This is the biggest thing he does now.
97.
I think Meulenkamp has got big ambitions for the next 12 months. I think we're going to see a lot of him. And we know we're going to see Robinson back no matter what happens because he is one of the winningest players this place has ever seen. And he's one of the most exciting too. But it's not about tomorrow. It's about tonight.
47. Reese should require 86.
Double 16.
70.
He'll be unhappy that he hasn't won the leg, but he'll be happy that he is coming back. You said it, Scott. You think this game was going to be all about someone doing one thing particularly right.
$135.
It
Reese
might
should
not be
require
this,
16.
but it could be something we've already seen.
Game shot in the fourth leg. Reese Robinson.
He's alive and well, and he tells himself to wake up.
Fifth leg is
Well, if this is how he plays
reversed.
when he's asleep.
Game on.
Turning point could have been that first leg, that first sloppy leg.
58.
You might ask yourself, what are the motivations for Robinson these days?
100.
He told us when he last won a weekly title in an impossibly bright shirt. Winning the money for that week allowed him to change his personal life for the better.
100.
Some people want titles. Some people want headlines. Some people need money.
128.
It's a dangerous thing once it happens. If someone's playing to change their life with a paycheck. You and I both know someone who used to be the king of the
137.
qualifiers at Lakeside, Davy Richardson. And he always said, beware of someone who is playing for their mortgage.
180.
Yeah, it's a valid point.
Cliff edge players.
100.
That's where they play their best stuff. And Meulenkamp, who has not suffered defeat against anybody but Simon Whitlock this week, has just lost to Robinson.
Reese Robinson.
Big time performance from that man right there. The way that Meulenkamp has played this week, I implore him to keep his process moving forward. He's been brilliant to watch this week, but he could not get rid of Mr. Must See, and you must see him in the final later.
It just seems that Reece Robinson has a winning formula here at the Super Series, and before the break he got the better of Rob Meulenkamp by 4 legs to 1. So that's the first semi-final done and dusted. And so next up for us, Scott Taylor taking on Matt Dennant. The winner will take on Reece in the final in around about 25 or so minutes time. And I can tell you that Scott is rather relaxed ahead of this semi-final. The only reason I'm saying that is he's staring at me through the window pane in the studio. But it's going to be full focus on this second semi-final, and in the commentary box for it, we'll head over to Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson in a few moments.
Gets his chance. Chance taken as well. It's a perfect storm for both players. Oh, it's right in the middle as well. Sweet as a nut. That Scott is through. Welcome to the second semi-final. And if this one is as dramatic as the first one, sign us up. Ron Meulenkamp might indeed be a bit shell-shocked because Robinson was up for it. He was not shying away from celebrating, and he's in the final. Now it's about someone who has got more weekly titles than Robinson up against someone who has got a little smattering of success here. Matthew Dennant has played 12 games this week in this building, and he's won 11. If he can win 2 more, it will be the ideal bounce back from losing his tour card en route to where he wants to go back to. In his own words, he didn't even want to be here. But I am now, and while I am, I'm going to make the most of it. Taylor comes into this one against the throw, Scott. But what we've learned from the first semi is that Super Series experience can go a long way.
Yeah, I think it does. I really do. This is very different than anything else that we play. Both the lads having a bit of a giggle there. It's very different than anything we play elsewhere on any other circuit. It's a round robin type affair, which usually, if you lose a match, you go on home, you come back again tomorrow. But at the moment, the way it works here is that you come back out and 20 minutes later and you go again. It's very different to anything that we ever do as a player elsewhere. So I think it does take time to get used to the situation and the building, because it's so quiet during the week.
Interestingly, we do have Alex Small in the building and other players as well who have played this week because they want to see how this story ends. We've got no idea how it will end, but there are only 3 players left from 12 at the start of the week on the slate. One thing that Matt Dennant and Ron Meulenkamp have got in common before the semi-finals is that they had only lost to one person. Ron has now lost to 2 people, and he's not in the final. Matt could be, and it's a long time since that weekly win. Week 11, Series 5. But just a few short weeks after that, this guy would become the series champion, beating Tom Sykes in the final, the first of 3 finals that Sykes would grace. He's now on the Pro Tour, still possibly thinking about what could have been in this building, and quite frankly, I hope we never see Tom again. Take that in the best possible way.
I know what you mean. If he doesn't, I'm sure he does.
We're about to get underway. And Dennant, by virtue of winning that stacked Group 2, he will have the darts. The closest possible scenario in a group without a 9-dart shootout.
First leg is Matt
Dennant won the group with 2 points and a leg difference of +1.
We always say having the darts is an advantage, but it didn't work for Meulenkamp there.
140.
That's a better open up from Matt Dennant.
80.
Where is this game going to be won and lost then, Scott? What's your hunch?
85.
I just have a feeling it's going to be on the scoring this time round, because I think if Dennant gets there, he's been hitting doubles for fun.
43.
If Taylor can't follow shots like that, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. He might not be the biggest 180 hitter, Matty Dennant, but he does hit a lot of 140s.
He certainly does. He's 50% on doubles for the night as well. But then again, that's the kind of stuff we were talking about with Ron earlier. He was better than 50%.
41.
How many chances did he get at a double? He got 8 in that semi. He only hit 1.
58. Matt, you require 95.
Saw this earlier from Whitlock, but a very different route here. Wow.
80.
That might be the worst dart he's thrown this week.
Rushed it and dragged it a little bit, didn't he? Held on to it a little bit. It was late release, wasn't it?
140.
If you're going to have a bad dart, do it when your opponent is not on a finish. But don't do it again. Great dart.
First leg, Matt Dennant.
3 darts thrown in that visit. 2 good ones, 1 bad one, but in the right order.
Second leg, it's Scott to throw first.
Yeah, exactly right. I bet Scott Taylor, if he was watching there and he saw that second dart go closer to the double 18s than the double 4, he'd have been thinking, hey, up, I'm in here. And then Dennant smashed it in there.
Earlier on tonight, we were talking about the fact that we have 1 English player in Champions Week after a somewhat cosmopolitan first 4 weeks. We are about to get another English player into Champions Week. That is a guarantee with 3 English players left.
57.
But is the snarl about to return? It's usually a sign
100.
of aggression from Taylor. It's never against a certain person. It's always towards the board.
Yeah, very much so towards the board.
180.
That's 180 there from Matt Dennant.
121.
Taylor is turning up.
Scott Taylor.
But what is he turning up? Possibly the heat.
The leg is Matt to throw first. Game on.
I don't know what it is about these colours he wears. The half and half shirt. And before anybody says anything, it's not like a half and half scarf. He's not supporting 2 teams. This is just what he wears. But there's something about him in red that seems to work.
58.
You mean a bit like the Tiger Woods thing?
Yeah. Tiger used to wear red on Sundays because he went to Stanford University. Make of the red what you will, because the red is getting crushed right now.
Yeah, second one of the match for Matty Dennant. It's his 5th of the night. This is only his 3rd game.
134. $59.
That's a quite unusual switch. A lot of people, when they're on 261, with 220s would go for the 17s thereafter. But Matty decided not to.
99.
This game is so in the balance. We've not had one game tonight go the distance. I am
simply shocked by that, considering
43.
the talent we've had on show.
Indeed. Dennant's made a bit of a miscount there. Left 1-5-9. Offered an opportunity for Taylor here.
That is an opening. When you're north of 200 and you can leave a finish like Taylor is, you see Dennant leave that number and you automatically think, right, okay, I can take this in 6 then. But if he does,
57.
this is right up there with
Scott, you require
one of the 1%ers of the
164.
week. We had 2 170s from Joe Meulenkamp in the same game on Thursday. Hasn't
Matt,
gone
you
well in the
require
last 6 starts, has it?
102.
No, it's got a bit sketchy here, hasn't it?
$70.
It looked like
Scott, you
sorting
require
itself out with that
124.
visit. Will it sort itself out with this one? Is this one of those funny legs again, like we just seen in the previous semi-final? That was in the first leg of the match. Is it going to be one of those scrappy legs
Matt,
that you
require
win and then it's very
32.
difficult to get it back?
They can't be separated.
Game
Until
shot
now,
the third leg, Matt Dennant.
one dart separates them in this match. It's that simple. That's how tight it is.
Fourth leg is Scott to throw first.
Both were
Game
on
on.
18 darts thrown. Both were on one leg. Both were on 32. And he's in the lead because he's got the
96.
darts.
That's exactly the advantage of being top of the group.
99.
Starting to understand after being here for 3.5 years, watching so many finals and semis on this stage.
140.
You've got to be a multiversed player. You've got to be able to play the marathon format during the week, and you've got to be a sprint finisher on a Saturday night.
That's exactly it. That is exactly right. That's the
46.
best way I've heard it put in a long while. That's how it feels as a player.
83.
The game can pass you by. The group stage can pass you by within the blink of an eye. And it's over and you're out and you can't work out how.
100.
And one of the biggest mental hurdles when you come to a place like this
140.
is, can I win? That automatically changes when you do win. And there's this beautiful word in the English language that
96.
rattles through your
Scott, you
brain
require
when you're in this
42.
position. It is again. Double
Game
10
shot on the fourth
again.
leg, Scott Taylor.
And it's 2-2. They are 2 legs away from again being
Fifth
in a
leg is
final.
Matt to throw first. Game on.
I've never asked you this, Scott,
85.
but was there a time after you won the World Championship in 2015 where you thought, oh, it would feel tremendous to be called a multiple-time world champion?
140.
Do you know what? No, I didn't look that far ahead. I didn't look that far ahead. It was trying to deal with the year after and the phone calls and the
82.
just all of a sudden I'd gone from nobody knowing me to everybody going to your local chip shop and getting home with cold chips because you're talking to shaking hands to 30
100.
people for 35 minutes to get out of your chip shop. It was crazy. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Just for the record, were these your cold chips or somebody else's?
96.
Definitely mine. I'm sure half of them, they had cold chips when they got home as well. Got an earful from the wife.
That's absolutely tragic. There's nothing cold about that. That's a red hot chip.
That's Taylor just staying in the mix long enough, wasn't he, to pounce.
58. Scott, you require 81.
Tops.
Game shot on the fifth
Somebody's
leg, Scott
turning it
Taylor.
up. Scott Taylor is starting to turn into semi-final Scott. This is what he's done so many times.
Big leg is Scott
And
to
it
throw
feels
first.
like Dennant is getting him at the wrong time.
Game on.
12 dart breaker throw from Taylor.
Look at the numbers. They're getting higher.
125.
75% on the doubles. The average is over 100. He's played this well once this week. It was to put himself in a
59.
strong position in Group B, and now he's using it to make a final. If he does, the finalists will have won
70.
7 weekly titles between them and a series.
$100.
All Dennant can do now is try and stick pace with Taylor.
He's not relenting.
77.
Well, maybe a little bit with that last dot. But there's a risk now where the 2 semi-finalists who lose and don't make the
140.
final come into Saturday night with win percentages for the week of 87% and 100%. Some of the biggest win percentage numbers we've ever seen in a weekly
95.
campaign, and they may not win. We know one of them isn't.
54. Scott, you require 134.
It's in Taylor's hands. Great thinking.
94.
He's got his head
Matt, you
screwed
require
on right there.
148.
He's pushed Matt into a corner. And he might not be able to come out of it now because Taylor has only missed 1 darted double in this entire
74.
game.
Scott, you require 40.
It's been relentless. And
Game start,
sensational.
and Scott Taylor.
Semi-final Scott turns up again and he's in another final. Matthew Dennant has had a wonderful week of darts. He's only lost 2 games and he's played 13. But it's going to be a stacked final tonight. It's going to be Taylor against Rhys Robinson after that 4-2 victory for the man from Bolton.
Welcome to the Weakest Binks. One of the 5 players on the stage today can't win any money, but what they can win is the pride of becoming the first ever winner of the Weakest Binks. No scores, a good job, I know, isn't it?
I am from Tottenham in London.
So they're lying when they say you're from Harlow in Essex.
I abode in Harlow in Essex.
Is that because your teeth aren't white enough? Is that what it is?
And then voted for me, so again, quite an injustice in my opinion, but...
Who cut your hair, pal? I'll get them for you.
It was someone that said I'm getting done for infringement, so I might as well carry on.
Over to you, Coey Bear. 19. No score, you didn't like that one? There we go.
Get him, Co. Get him. That's the brand new programme, The Weakest Binks. That's coming up once the live darts comes to its culmination here on Pluto TV. So that is what's coming up amongst many other things across the network of channels. So that's coming up once we're done. Then we've got a tungsten talk that is with the 3-time Lakeside champion, Martin Adams. That is from 10 past 10. I'm sure Scott's got a few memories of playing him during the years. Fallon Sherrick's one of the stars in action when Week 7 gets underway on Monday morning. And then, of course, next Saturday night, we'll see who will join the 6 players. We don't know the 6th one, of course, just yet, but the 6 players that would have qualified through the Champions Week as the second half of Series 13 gets underway. So in terms of tonight, Scott Taylor before the break booked his place in the final. He got the better of Matt Dennant by 4 legs to 2. Reece Robinson also made it, having got the better of Ron Meulenkamp by 4 legs to 1. 2 players with question marks over them, that's for sure, but they have made it through to the jackpot match. In the studio, it is the asset Paul Nicholson and the former world champion Scott Mitchell. Is it fair to say it's not the final we expected at the beginning of the night?
I don't know what to expect anymore. We've looked at stats, we've looked at form, and a lot of us thought it was going to be Meulenkamp against Dennant, but Super Series experience does count for something, because when you've got these two about to lock horns in a final, this is what this place is all about. If you've done it here before multiple times, you have the knack. It seems like Scott Taylor has been sleeping for a couple of days, just doing enough to get here, and now he finds the right time to do this. It's quite incredible, because I don't think many people give him a chance of making the semis, never mind the final. But when he's doing things like that to Dennant, he shell-shocked the scholar and made sure that he didn't get any darts at double.
And peaking at the right time is such an important thing in this discipline.
Very much so. It's about getting to that semi-final and then leaving nothing in the practice room. You've got to bring every part of your game out here. No good leaving all your treble 20s back there, and unfortunately, a lot of people do.
So Scott Taylor made it through, as too did Reece Robinson. And we saw yesterday how good he was. He had that 109 average, and he's backed it up to some degree tonight as well.
Yeah, he has. I think the biggest thing about this game for Reece is that he has a level to himself when he plays inward. And what I mean by that is he won't celebrate, he won't gesticulate. He's played quite a calm brand of darts the last couple of nights. In particular, he did a little bit towards the start of his first match tonight. But he's earmarked that semi-final to go for it. And against someone like Meulenkamp, who's got experience and he's done great things with his game, he didn't care. He was willing to go, right, this is mine, not yours. And he wasn't bothered about the consequences. That takes guts.
There are consequences, because when you do it to an experienced player like that, you know, particularly on the first leg, it's like, oh, yeah, that's the way we're going with this, are you? And you can sometimes give your opposition something to bounce off of, something to make them grip hold of, and something to make them fight for. And sometimes you can overfight, and it messes you up a little bit. But for me, he knew exactly what he was doing there.
Is it fair to say the key to that was getting off to a quick start, like he did? He set his stall out rather quick, did Reece?
Yeah, he did, but it was a really sloppy leg that he won. So he kind of gave it the big one on a leg that most people are doing at home or down the dog and duck. So it was an unusual one to do it with, I think, Nico.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, there are certain times to celebrate. If you celebrate, I don't know, a 21 darter, your opponent might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, what are you doing? But he was celebrating that kind of start, but then it would lead to something else. You're trying to play with your opponent's head. There's no defence in darts, but there's a psychological aspect of what you do could affect the other player.
Turns out Johan Brouwer is rubbing off on people.
I'm not even sure Rhys Robinson will know who Johan Brouwer is, but we do. But the thing is, Rhys Robinson knows who he is. He knows what he needs to do to bring the best out of himself. I have no doubt in my mind that what he's been doing is trying to peak for this night. He did brilliant stuff on Friday night to get to this Saturday night, and all of his preparations for darts lead to nights like this. This is what he wants to do. This is where he wants to succeed, and he's on the verge of doing it again.
And these two, I just get the sense, Rhys and Scott, who'll be playing in the final course in a few moments' time, I get the sense when you read each other's games, the way they go about it, the way they play, the way they prepare, their attitude altogether around the sport, they're so similar, they're so alike in so many aspects.
Yeah, they can be, but something's got to give in this final. That's the problem. You know, we're going to pick holes in it. We're going to get to speak to them after and see what their psychology was. But you're absolutely right. I think they are so similar that they know how to get one another.
So what's the key towards this? Because Rhys Robinson's been the form man out of the pair this week, but at the same time, it feels like Scott Taylor's finding the right stuff when it matters most.
I think it boils down to what Scott was saying earlier. In particular, for Robinson, we call him Mr. Must-See. He's got loads of other nicknames, but he said you might as well call him Mr. Front Run. If he gets in front, he's really hard to peg back because he gets initial confidence from stuff he does right. If he has a couple of misses to start and Taylor pips him, then Taylor takes the impetus. This momentum that you can create from the off is critical. It's easy for us to sit here and say that the start is everything. It's about early exchanges. Can you minimize mistakes and make sure that the big mistakes are not something that are going to cost you in this game?
Let's have a look at the weekly winners, Scott, because whoever gets through tonight, we know that they've won weekly titles in the past. Rhys is looking for number 4, Scott's looking for number 5. And when you look at the players that are in there, you've got a couple of players on debut at the beginning, but we're beginning to assemble a pack of players that have been used to get into the big occasion. Coulson, of course, Graham Hall last week, and the winner of this, it will be like just another week at the office.
And I don't think you can take Sagansky out of the equation either, although he was here, he's got plenty of experience as well. So I would say, yes, we're now starting to build a field that may be a little bit more experienced than we were anticipating. But I think it's going to be a brilliant field come the end of the... And there's so many people still yet left to play. We're only halfway through.
And for players like Rhys and Scott, they kind of look at these as qualifying weeks, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do. I think maybe Taylor will look at that more like that, because I don't think there's as much pressure on him to go back and win another series. As much as he'd like to do what Littler did by winning 2 series, nobody else has been able to do that. So maybe that's the only kind of pressure that's on Scott, that he could potentially be the second one to do it. But Robinson doesn't have it. There are great things that have happened in this building for Rhys, but he still hasn't got the series win. Like we said earlier, in order to get it, he's got to get there.
Right, chaps, here we go then. Time for the final. Rhys Robinson up against Scott Taylor for the 6th place through to championship. Come the end of this one, we'll know half of the field. Owen Binks is your MC as we get week 6 to a crescendo.
Meulenkamp, who has not suffered defeat against anybody but Simon Whitlock this week, has just lost to Robinson. Taylor is turning up. Relentless. And sensational.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Modus Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. It's time to meet the finalists. Would you please welcome to the stage, he is a former Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor! And would you please welcome his opponent? He's a former 3 times Modus Super Series weekly winner, Mr. Must-See, Rhys
Robinson!
So here we go then. It is time for the final. Come the end of this match, we will know half of the field for Champions Week. It's Scott Taylor against Reece Robinson in the company of Scott Mitchell and Paul Nicholson.
Fascinating stuff, isn't it? How stacked can a final be? How many weekly titles can you have before you say it's a bit ridiculous? Well, this game, we hope it's a little bit ridiculous. But Scott is only 34 from the great town of Bolton, and Reece is only 33. They've been around for a long time for early 30s, and they can still create even more history. They've been in this position many times before, but they've never met before in a final, and this has got a heavyweight feel. And no matter what you say about this great Series 13, this is the biggest final we've had yet. We might not get anything as big as this, so take it in, everybody. It's time to crown a weekly champion again. Taylor has the throw by virtue of winning the bull in the practice room, the only bull off that we have all week. Who starts as favourite, Scott?
Well, I'm not really sure. Scott Taylor's only started with the darts once this evening, and he lost that game. So I wonder whether he won the bull up and gone, I fancy going second, actually. But he hasn't. So you've got to set the pace, whereas if you throw in second, you know what pace your opponent's setting. I don't know. I'm still, if I flipped a coin now, I think it'd land on its edge.
If Robinson wins this final, he's then got the same amount of weekly titles as Taylor. If Taylor wins, he's got the same
60
as the likes of Harrison and West. And there is somebody playing next week who wants more as well. His name is Neil.
60.
Bit of an experienced player there from Taylor. Maybe a few finals nerves here. Just taking a little time out before he thrusts again towards the board with that very violent action.
84.
How well timed were those semi-final performances? 96.45 for Robinson. 98.9
43
for Scott Taylor. It was more than 100 average for most of that match against Matty Dennant.
Yeah, it was. It was just absolute constant pressure, wasn't it? We both know what that feels like over our darting lifetime. It is difficult to shake them off.
128. Scott, you require 97.
We've not had a game that's gone the distance all night. A lot of us are hoping this one does.
57.
First blood could still be to Robinson.
Not now, it won't be. So it's all about Taylor and that double
Scott,
top.
You require 40.
You want to get yourself settled in this final. That's the way to do it.
Scott Taylor.
First start, no doubt. Taylor takes a 1-0 lead.
Second leg is Reece.
And we know that Taylor
Game on.
can bang in a final. Remember when he won a final and he averaged 109? One of the best final performances this place has ever witnessed.
Yeah, I do remember watching that one.
45.
Has been trumped since by a certain Luke Littler, 117, and then Danny Van Troep went 120 plus, didn't he?
95.
I don't think that's ever going to be beaten in a final. I think that's going to stay in stone for all time.
Yeah, that's unbelievable stats.
95.
What Robinson can't afford to do is give Taylor a bit of a head start.
38.
He's feeling the pain. But I just wonder why. He's almost 100 in front there.
I've no idea. Taylor knew exactly what to do in the situation. Headed off to his glass of water.
100.
Reset. Came back to the board in his own time.
We did see a bit of levity in that second semi between Dennant and Taylor. I don't think there's any here. This focus is so thick, you might as well get a cheese knife out and cut it.
57. Reach to require 140.
So can't finish now, but will want a treble 20. Can't really go anywhere else.
60.
Tried to open the angler. Didn't happen for him. Taylor here with a double treble visit. Really opens a can of worms, but it's got to be the right trebles.
54.
And he's come up treble-less as such.
That forces the Robinson hand. He doesn't have to go double-double now, but he will anyway.
Game shot on the second leg. Reach Robinson.
What more can you say? That's why they call him Mr. Must-See. The human highlight reel.
The leg is Scott to
Double R.
first. Game on.
Double top twice.
134.
Just like his initials, he's purring like a cat right now. We have not felt the tension in the live lounge all week as we feel right now.
$96.
It's a big money game, this. Big money game. Because they don't know how much it could be for.
41.
They know what it's for on the night, but they don't know what it could turn into in a Champions Week.
126.
Yeah, it's almost like a snowball game, isn't it? If you get the snowball, you can build it. If you don't, you know exactly what you've got.
85.
Nothing.
Scott, you require 145.
This'll work.
Game shot on the third
Pitch
leg.
perfect
Scott
from Taylor. He takes a 2-1 lead. His second lead of the final so far.
Game's all about moments.
Fourth leg is Reese to throw first. Game on.
That is a big moment thus far. Even though it's only a holder throw, you'd rather be doing that against the throw, but sometimes you don't get to choose.
108.
That's a good response from Robinson. Fair play.
108.
Well, well, well. Now we have a final on our hands.
140.
5 out of 6 ain't bad. And that's
60.
how good this leg is. 60's not good enough.
No, it's not.
$65.
Sensible stuff. The bull is out of play now.
91.
Some
Reach
finals we can have
116.
stats galore and talk about head-to-head records. It's not about that right now. It's all about now.
Can't finish, and Scott
42.
Taylor is on the 170. He's hit it 7 times here before. He holds the record. Not going to be 8, and he gives the board a right
74.
smile, not
Reach
just
to
for the
require
second
74.
dart, but the third dart as well. He was thinking it like we were.
Yeah, 54 scored. $54. Scott, you require 96.
What a big chance this is now. 1 double or 2? None.
40. Reach, you require 20.
I think he was thinking where he was going with the second dart when he threw the first.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Adrenaline fueled double 10. That one is 2-2. These guys have played each other a couple of times the last 2 nights. 2 contrasting games as well. Thursday night, it wasn't very good. And Taylor won by 4 legs to 3. But then on Friday,
140.
that's where Robinson really did find his top gear. That's where he had that 109 average. That seems like ancient history.
Yeah. It does indeed. We saw the 170 attempt from Taylor earlier. We did see a couple of 170s in the same match from Joe Meulenkamp.
We might just have
59.
the closest final of the series on our hands. Because of 5 finals, 4 of them have gone 4-2.
100.
The other one was 4-1. That was Derek Coulson against Robbie Martin 2 weeks ago. Meaning we are yet to go the distance.
60. Scott, you require 161.
Robinson just can't seem to play his best darts
60.
on Taylor's throw.
Not at all. It's not even close, is it, sometimes? But if he hits a 180 here, that would have really put the fox in the hen house.
45.
He's
Scott,
just lost
you
his
require
composure a little bit there. He
101.
needs to gather it quickly.
Lost his shape on the throw as well, didn't he?
Tops.
61.
That was a very safe effort. And you can understand that.
Yeah, you can. His 12th dart was at a double. Hasn't got to worry about that.
92. Scott, you require 40.
He keeps doing it. He keeps taking the lead. And he keeps fending off Robinson's charge. All he needs now is 1 break or 1 hold. And that will be good enough for title number 5.
I always feel that this is the hardest leg to hold throw. When you're 3-2 down, you're 45. On throw. Everybody expects you to hold because it's been going hold a throw, and he opens up with 45.
134.
And that's a good response from Taylor.
Yeah, that's a little bit more than 45. If there was pressure on Robinson at the start of the leg,
94.
how big is the pressure now?
$97.
Picks off another valuable treble. Oh, look, he's left himself 270. A ton here, and he'll be going back 41. At that 170.
Oh, look at that. He's just fed Scott Taylor with all of that anguish. This visit could give him 6 starts for the weekly win.
55.
Robinson's not out of this.
76.
There's the 5 gone. It's getting nervy, and they're both using the bull as a cover. And they're both hitting it. 145 might be the number. He's already hit this in the final.
100. Scott, you require 145.
So both on 145. Taylor gets an attempt first. Not going to go now. Needs 65. Another treble. It was already blocked with the first dart a little. So Robinson then to level it up. He's done the same. He's missed it, but he's got an open target to go back at.
Scott,
and hits it.
80.
Double 10 for Taylor for
60.
The win, and he's missed it.
Require
2 darts to be the weekly champion.
No score.
And Robinson has had missed 3 darts himself. And you can see the anguish.
Scott, you require 20.
Head in hand moment for him. And now Taylor for double 10. One on the outside. One further away, got to go in. He goes inside. Scott Taylor wins it 4-2. They have a handshake, but it's Taylor. Takes his 5th weekly win. 5 weekly wins for Scott Taylor. Superb stuff from him. He wins this week 6 of Series 13. And here are the stats.
And so for Scott Taylor, he makes a little bit of history here because no former player then played multiple other Champions Week appearances. That includes Luke Littler after winning the title initially. That is the magnitude of what he's achieved. That 145, that felt like a deal breaker as far as the final was concerned. As for Reece Robinson, he's had a very good week to get through to yet another final here at the Live Lounge, but his attempts to make it weekly win number 4 is going to have to go on that little bit longer. For Scott Taylor, he's going to have another opportunity to become a series champion for a second time come April. Let's hear from him now. He's on stage with Paul Nicholson.
Many congratulations, Scott. Henry Deacon earlier tonight called you a Super Series legend. It's another weekly title, so what are you now?
I don't know, mate. I was seriously struggling about if I'm ever going to compete in this level anymore, so to win again is good, but it wasn't great.
I'm sensing a bit of emotion from you, Scott. We've spoken many times on this stage when you've won the series, when you've won weekly titles. I'm getting the sense that this means quite a lot to you.
Yeah, I think this means the most to me because it's been hard work for nearly a year and I haven't been great even coming up to this, so to win is good.
You're going to be coming back as well, and there's something you could do in April that's only been done by someone from your neck of the woods in Luke Littler. A second series title is now very possible.
Yeah, I've got a plan to go home and just make a plan to hit a few competitions. I'll be doing the rest of the Challenge Tour and just trying to get back to where I was. I believe I can get back within a year with being capable to win one of these, so hopefully it comes quicker than...
Coming into this week, you're not really the kind of person who sets any goals, but now that you've won another week, what kind of goals are you going to set yourself for the rest of the year?
I went home from Q school thinking this might be it, this could be really it, because I didn't want to go back and I didn't go to Challenge Tours, and I don't know, I've got to sit down and think about what I want to do now.
We'll try and take some of the pressure away from this interview because I know that you came down here with Joe Meulenkamp. Got a message for Joe?
How's that for you?
All smiles right now. We're about to put the medal around your neck and give you the trophy once again. But you say this means the most for you. Just run us through what it was like for you in that final against a tough opponent in Reece. You had the lead. You never relinquished it. But what were you thinking when he was on his chance to take it to the last leg decider?
I think it more against Matty. I was just thinking he's been probably the best player all the way through this week, and I was just like, just get him what he can. And then when I play in Reece, obviously he smashed me last night, so I was like, just get him back. Do whatever he does. Don't matter if it's a 69, if just win.
When you played each other on Thursday night, it wasn't a brilliant game. You both averaged under 80, but then you come back on Friday night, he has a brilliant game. Does it stay in your mind, that head-to-head record coming into Saturday night?
Not really, but when someone smashes you like that, you've got to give it a little bit back and just let them know you're still here.
I know you're not one for interviews. You're more about winning darts matches, winning money for your family. Many congratulations, Scott. I'm not going to keep you any longer. Congratulations. Everybody, be upstanding for your Week 6 champion. Once again, it's Scott Taylor!
Five times a weekly winner now, Scott Taylor. 6 if you include his Champions Week win in Series 6. And maybe there is a symmetry for the Series 6 winner that he's won in Week 6. He's got to get the photographs and that done, and he's not a man for all of this rigmarole. He just likes to play darts and get out of there again. But when you've had the tangible success that he's had, you've got to get used to the press and the other bits that come with it. So, weekly winner once again, into Champions Week once again, a 5th time for him. Scott Mitchell alongside me. Now, he wasn't at his best in Group B on Thursday and Friday. He was the first to admit it. He said he played poorly. However, when it was the crucial point on Saturday, when it mattered most, he came up with his best stuff.
Absolutely, and we said it before the match. He sees the weekly stuff as just a qualification to get to the Saturday. You don't become a 5-time weekly winner here if you don't know how to get to the Saturday. Sometimes you don't have to play your best. Sometimes you've got to hang on in there and win the right games at the right time. And you have to say that Scott Taylor's done that this week. Gets to finals night tonight. We were looking at that, Nico and I, next door, and he's been better against the darts tonight than he has with, because he has that determination to win matches. And it doesn't matter what you throw at him, he's got the mental power to overcome it.
We describe both him and Reece as maverick players in the build-up to the final. And I suppose when you've got that air about you, can, to a certain extent at least, be able to kind of turn it on and off like a tap.
You can, but I think he gave an opportunity to Reece there to go 3-3. And I think we'd have seen a totally different game had it gone 3-3. Momentum would tell you from watching in the past that had Reece hit that double top, the momentum would have been with him and we could be talking about a very different winner.
It feels like the 1-4-5 was the key passage in play. It felt like it just knocked the stuffing out of Reece a little bit.
Yeah, it did. I think it would knock the stuffing out of anybody. I mean, it was clean, it was concise, it was... And what I love about him, where Reece has been jumping up and down and trying to get in his face, he just took the darts out as if he does that every day of the week. And so gave nothing away, just took his darts out and felt inside he would have known that he'd hurt Reece, but he just didn't want to do anything to him on the outside.
Could have other players faltered when you consider the way that Reece was I wouldn't say give it to big one because he wasn't, but the fact that he was letting out a little bit, because we have seen players that in the face of it can falter, can crumble.
Yeah, some people it does. When you're playing somebody that maybe is not on the top of their game, it can harm them and falter them. If you're playing somebody that's right on their game, and like you say, you look at them and go, oh yeah, that's the way you want it, is it? And sometimes a more experienced player will jump up to the plate and say, you're not getting me now, that was a bit rude, I'm not having that. And that's what can happen, but it didn't happen to him this evening.
You mentioned that 6th leg. It was shreds, Phil, particularly towards the end. Scott missed a couple of opportunities. Reece then had his chance to take us all the way, and then it comes down. Last dart in hand. And to be fair, this isn't the easiest start when you consider that probably there was a little bit of the bed that was blocked.
Yeah, particularly when the second dart had gone the other direction. And obviously, the way that the flight was sat on the dart in the board already, it just caught the wrong side of the flight and went one way. And although we were only zooming in on the barrel, I think it caught the flight on the other side and diverted it into the double. So sometimes they work for you and sometimes they don't. And he's now a 5-time weekly champion.
Let's go on the other side of the coin and talk about Reece Robinson, because there was some really good stuff this week. There was some really promising signs. He's got to take that into the rest of his season, whatever he wants to do. Yeah,
he's matured as a player. And I could see that in him, and he's been a better player this week than what we've seen here in the past. So whatever he was doing now, I would urge him to continue to do. There was a bit of the old Reece creeping back in with the celebrations towards the end of the night tonight, and I think maybe if he gets rid of those a little bit and concentrates on doing those tops, which he's really good at, and concentrate on those sorts of things rather than the celebration, then maybe we're going to see an even better version of him.
Is it difficult for a player like Reece in the respect of you don't want to take away what makes him so good, because he is an enigmatic, he's a flair player, maverick, or however you want to describe him. Is there a fine line between refining that and then taking away what makes him him?
Yeah, definitely, because I think on occasions when he's giving it the big one, I don't think he's doing it to upset the opponent. I think he's doing it to gee himself on, but it can be seen in a different way. So, he's got to decide which one it is. He'll probably continue doing what he's doing, because if you're doing it to get yourself going, why would you stop doing it?
But for Scott Taylor, as you say, title number 5. And I suppose we get to the point now where we have to ask the question, where does he rank amongst his peers in terms of the players that have done great things here, legendary things here?
Everybody is judged by what they achieve and what they perform. We know some players love the alley pally, some players play great at Lakeside. There is a bunch of players now, because we're playing here so often, that absolutely love this place. Derek Coulson right up there. And you have to say that Scott Taylor is there with the very best in this room. You don't get 5 weekly wins. 1 is hard enough to achieve. To go off and get 5, you are becoming an icon in this place. And every time you walk through the building and there are another 11 people with you that week, they all know that he's the man to beat from now on.
Because we've always known how good a player Scott is. He's got to a Pro Tour final in the past. They don't hand them out like confetti at a Greek wedding. So is this place finally the place where we realise actually how good this guy is? He really is.
I think it has highlighted everything that Scott has. Sometimes he comes across as a bit take it or leave it. You know, some days you look at him and you think he couldn't care less, and then he goes up there and goes 180, 180. Or he pokes a 170 out. You can't read from his body language what he's feeling on that day. For me, I think he needs to apply himself a little more, have a little bit more belief in what he does, and I think we're going to see him, you know, win something big. Could it be a Champions Week here?
And if he does it again, then he joins Luke Little, of course, in the 2.0 club. We're halfway through the series now, and this is how the Champions Week field looks. And I suppose there is a cosmopolitan mix about it, isn't there? Steve Green and Keanu Van Velzen, I think they'll be the first to admit they were upset surprise winners. Derek Coulson's obviously been here a few times. Graham Hall's coming back for a second appearance. Scott Taylor coming back for a 5th himself. You've got that mix between players who are making their debut in the big week and players that just know exactly what it's like.
I think all 6 have one thing in common. They all had special moments on their night. They all did something brilliant on their night that made them believe that it was their time and their turn to be in a Champions Week. And I think they'll be able to talk about it between themselves and recall those moments on the Saturday nights.
Well, the good thing is, next Saturday we're going to see you on that graphic, aren't we?
I'd love to be. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be. There's no reason why not. But I think you have to hold respect to the other people that are coming through the door on the same week as you are, and say, look at it. It's pretty stacked as well, with people that have lots of experience here.
You know the deal as a pundit who still plays a little bit, and then when they have to play in a tournament they commentate on, us presenters ask you those horrible questions about how difficult a task you've got ahead of yourself.
I think it's a really difficult task. I mean, Neil Duff is sort of part of the furniture here. He knows the place inside out. Dylan Slavin, he's just come off the tour. He's going to be sort of still firing and ready to go. So, yeah, there's some tough. Mr. Painter's playing some good stuff again. So why on earth not? Why can't we just come here and have some fun and see who wins it at the end?
Still life in the old dog yet, though, right?
Yeah, there's plenty of life in me. It's just whether my arm will let me do it or whatever. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long while since I played in a proper series, and I'm excited.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again, and of course we'll watch those endeavours next week. But let's finish off with our champion tonight, Scott Taylor, and actually the evening as a whole, because you looked at the 6 players in there. It was a proper finals night field, and maybe Scott was the one of everybody that went under the radar a little bit, because the form guide didn't quite suggest that maybe he was in the type of rhythm, the type of mood to win one again. But what does that say about his character, that even when he's not playing at his best, he can still win here?
He's an out-and-out warrior. He's a warrior. He'll win and scrap legs out with 21 darts, and then he'll go and get you in 10 or 11 darts. It's a superb attribute to have with your game, and Scott has that in abundance.
It's going to be interesting to see, because he's going to take some stopping at Champions League, just because of the fact that he's been there, he's done it, he's won it before.
Look, you don't not know this place if you've won 5 weekly titles. Ask Derek Coulson, ask the people here, ask Luke Littler. You know, you've got to know this place to have 5 weekly titles. So he has a real shout in Champions Week.
I would ask Luke Littler, but he's currently at the Brit Awards handing out medals with Angry Ginge, so I don't think that's going to possibly happen. See, that's what happens if you win the Super Series a couple of times.
Oh, brilliant. I'll give it a go, shall I?
This time next year, Scott Taylor may well be presenting something at the Oscars. Who knows? Scott, always a pleasure to be in your company. We look forward to seeing you throw the arrows on Monday morning. And if you don't make it through Group A, I will be chastising you from the commentary box.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Scott, thank you as ever. Thank you, of course, as well to Paul Nicholson. Plenty coming up across Pluto TV. Coming up next, it's a brand new game show, The Weakest Binks, where the questions are more asked of the Quizmaster than anything else. That's coming up in a few moments' time. And then we've got the Tungsten Talk with a legend of the game. Martin Wolfie Adams is going to be under the microscope. That's tomorrow morning from just past 10. And then the action in week 7 gets underway. Fallon Sherrock, the Queen of the Palace, is looking to win her first weekly title, having recently picked up the Women's Week crown. That's Monday from 9:30. And then, of course, this time next week, we'll reconvene once again to see who's going to be the 7th player through to Champions Week and who's going to join the 5-time weekly winner now in Scott Taylor. But that's it from us. Scotty was just too much. Taylor was top dog. Until Monday, take care. Bye-bye for now.
Got to match it with the finishing.
He does just that. And getting off to that kind of start is exactly what Robinson was looking for. The doubles were just very well here. Oh, it's right in the middle as well. Sweet as a nut. That Scott is through. Things are very tight in this group. This might have to go in if he wants to go through. It's a beautiful dart from Simon. One dart for 4-0. Pinpoint. He gets his chance. Chance taken as well. It's a perfect storm for both players. And Meulenkamp, who has not suffered defeat against anybody but Simon Whitlock this week, has just lost to Robinson. Taylor is turning up. Relentless. And sensational. This'll work. Pitch perfect from Taylor.
No score.
Robinson has had missed 3 darts himself. One further away, got to go in. He goes inside. Scott Taylor wins it 4-2.
Week 6 champion once again is Scott Taylor!
The new Modus Super Series champion.
Oh my word!
It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith!
It's match start.
5-star performer, and the bullseye is hit.
It's Johnny Magnet!
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit!
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And he Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jürgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. almost guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He is 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the 1 treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.
Game